Greetings!
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Good afternoon.
Welcome back to Machine God, the actual play streaming campaign of Monte Cook Games, Slaves of the Machine God, mega module of some 150 plus pages, two concurrent modules that are kind of woven together, one that does some long-term play, one that does some your typical monster hunting mysteries and whatnot that we're used to. So excited to see all that. But yeah, welcome to the Ninth World for the quick shtick. Ninth World is a billion years into the future of Earth. 9 civilizations have risen and fallen to technological advances beyond our understanding as 20th and 21st century mortals. Earth was at some point an intergalactic travel hub, interdimensional travel hub, and all that has totally fallen into wreckage, and now we just have the ruins of super tech around us in kind of a medieval state. So this is episode 4. We are a group of adventurers journeying to the cold desert in order to... I have a map, don't I?
Map.
There we go.
Map.
Yes.
We're journeying into the cold desert of Mithunius in order to found a settlement for the Amber Gleaners. We're all kind of associated with the Amber Gleaners to some extent, which is a group of adventurers who create like kind of roadside caches for like other adventurers to like have food and water and whatnot. But then also occasionally sometimes they like find a travel, like a nexus that they're like, this would be a great place for like a travel hub that we could kind of control. And so they saw that in Mithunius as kind of being a great untapped travel hub because it's just this horrible kind of stale desert. So they sent a group of adventurers ahead of you guys to kind of set the groundwork for the settlement.
That's right.
And they got when you guys arrived with like the kind of reinforcement goods in order to start building kind of more installations and whatnot. They were like there to set up, basically a wall and some houses. And you got there and the wall was wrecked and the houses were all wrecked. And I think I have the image still up. Let's see.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
There was like
definitely not that.
on the walls too.
Yeah, they had
in blood or something.
Yeah, it was like some red kind of weird like slime material that they had done some graffiti with on the walls. Let's see. There we go. You can see the graffiti in the bottom left of that image. It's all reminiscent of a human face screaming. It's also right here, if that's helpful to people around the table.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's a spooky image.
Spooky image, yes.
Very the scream. I like it.
Yeah.
And all the people who were there were taken, so it seemed. There were no bodies. There was not really any, like, spattering of blood or anything that you guys were able to find. So, and you got the impression that these creatures with kind of weird clawed insectoid feet, if I recall correctly, you were able to kind of track them back to a lair that was some distance away from the city. That was a giant pink crystalline structure.
Oh, yeah.
So on our way there, if I believe Shent and I need to get my names straight. It's been a second. Kele, right? Weren't you guys scouting ahead?
That sounds like us. We are the scouting team.
And the rest were kind of hanging back. And I think your character will have been. I'm sorry. Also, welcome to Ava.
Ava, who is not Shag.
Ava,
That's
who is
right.
not Shag.
I'm definitely not Shag. I don't know if you could tell, but
Fastest, most professional transition ever.
I mean, her character does have the face more.
it's true. It's true, which I'm sure that'll come into
Her
play.
player
so.
and her character.
Yeah, and painstakingly like make up her arms and hands, elsewise.
All of it.
But Ava's been gaming with us for many years and recently moved to Florida, which crushed our heart. But is visiting, and so we were stoked to have her back at the table for some Numenera weirdness.
Yes.
And first time on the stream, I feel
It
like.
is my first time on the stream.
Wow.
First time.
Yes.
First time. We needed like a first time initiation battle cry. A bird.
Oh,
It should involve a bird
yes.
because that's kind of like becoming thematic to the
Yeah.
table with the bird landing on the die.
Speaking of which, Ava graced us with a 17 on the gravity well.
Yes,
Twice.
that was a pretty epic
Twice.
during the
Very dramatic.
during the opening while we had the loading screen going. We were rolling the gravity well, and Ava rolled a dramatic 17, but got caught as kind of a.
What's the gravity well, Keith?
What is the gravity well? That's a great question. If you're having that question in the chat, it's there for you.
What a brilliant question. Thanks for
Thanks.
asking.
No, I'm glad you asked.
Trying to set you up for it, but it was too subtle.
No. What is the? Do tell. Yeah, it's a really big die, and it's super important to our game
It's
as
heavy.
a ritual.
Sounds loud on this glass table.
And
I
if
think-
you're watching this on YouTube,
Yes.
you won't see the chat, and we're sorry.
Yeah.
Come check us out.
Mostly, it's the only thing that Daniel truly believes in anymore.
Yeah, I think so. I think everything else. I'm not even sure if I'm here.
My spirituality
but I
is
know
gravity
that
well.
the gravity well exists.
You know that you have a spirit and that it is being pulled toward the gravity.
Yes,
That's
yes.
how you know that it exists.
That's true.
Yeah.
We can't directly observe the gravity well because it actually eats all
It
light.
absorbs light.
Yeah.
And spirits, apparently.
And spirit. Put that in the book, in the lore book of
Yeah.
the gravity well.
Take that, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
But Ava rolled a 17 that was cracked, and then we got into this great debate over like whether that would count or not. And last Friday we had a weird situation that was similar to that on Expedition Dracana. Tune in at 7 p.m. on Fridays.
Except Fridays.
And so we decided to keep rolling it, and then at a later point it was determined that probably she should get a re-roll because it was cracked and we didn't take it. So then she rolled it and rolled the 17 again, thus proving the magic of the gravity well.
And that
Once
you
again.
can get better at rolling, like, which is something I believe in. And I practice
The
daily.
practice.
Debunked. Already been debunked.
Prove it.
I'm getting higher every time.
Yep.
It's better than the
Already
last
up to a
one.
9.
You warming them up. You warming them up.
Oof. Proven. So
We're about hard
Hashtag
facts here.
no hard facts. Hashtag hard science.
Micro bubbles.
Or you gotta like freeze the dice and then smash them with a hammer if they're really bad in order to like in front of the other.
The other dice need to win.
Yeah,
That's the important part.
lesson. It's a lesson to the others.
If you don't roll well, this will be you. You'll be next. So Kele and Shent like snuck out towards the. We determined that they were called Phrontex. I think Kele, you had some knowledge of them.
Yeah, I think between Forfax and
Oh, I do remember this.
rolled
Yes.
some knowledge
We
rolls to
Y'all got
Yeah.
Got out there
captured,
close,
right? Or they
but
got
then
behind you.
Yeah, you guys.
All of a sudden, they were behind us.
yes.
Yes, because the viewer knows that they used a cipher
That's
that
right.
turned back 10 minutes of time, but only the person who used the cipher actually knows that remembers what happened. So that one of those Phrontex used it, turned back time, explained to the other Phrontex that these people were sneaking up, and then they were able to outflank you guys. So to you were just like all of a sudden totally ambushed. And yeah, as a reminder for our visual minds, there unfortunately is not a picture of the Phrontex because it's a creature that's just was created for this module. But they're creepy, gaunt humanoids with heads like beetles and waving mandibles, orange skin with leopard spots, and clawed hands and feet. And they secrete a gland. They have a gland in their armpits that secretes a red slime that makes them look like they're always bleeding, and we know that was what they had painted that weird.
In their armpits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just armpit. Juice all over the
let them
walls.
put their arm around you.
I like to think
They're just like,
when they have a victory, they both, like, two of them, like, do it at the same time and
Yeah.
high five.
I'm good.
Gross.
Yeah, good job.
So I want both of you guys to make a might defense, as these things have snuck up on you with a handful of this strange glandular material and slapping it on your face.
Ooh. Oh man.
What a great word.
Oh no.
I rolled.
Oh no.
I rolled 1.
Oh no, that's bad.
A 1.
Yeah.
Intrusion.
Oh.
I mean, I'll
You can
take
draw a
some
card.
Intrusion XP, but I don't, you know.
I think when it's from a 1, you don't
No,
get
that
anything
doesn't.
from
You don't
it.
get any XP. It's the one time the GM is like,
You get shit
Screw
on.
you.
Get ready.
You don't get it.
All right, so my GM intrusion. Well, with the 1, this stuff. Like a chloroform or something just immediately knocks you out, right? And with the 1, you save, so you get this slapped in your face and are not affected by it in the full. But my GM intrusion is that it like disorients you for a moment, and you're scrambling around, and then and by the time you come to, they have dragged Shent away. They're like kind of in the distance,
Oh, no.
dragging him away, right?
Shent.
Yeah.
I think, meanwhile,
I think I was probably bothering Forfax sometime earlier in this thing. Wasn't I asking you goofy questions in general?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're like.
You got
Trying to
shut
get, I
down.
was trying to get to know him.
Forfax is so mean.
Meanwhile, the camera cuts to Marin, who has been scouting out the Frontex lair. Is Marin a she?
Marin is actually agendered.
Ooh, is it they?
It is yes, we can.
Is that
we can
the
use
preferred
they.
pronoun?
That'll be great. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's yes, it's they're neither male nor female in appearance, but humanoid. But yeah, it does not appear to be of one gender or another.
Okay. As the camera pans to Marin, who was among the Amber Gleaners, but was a kind of a last-ditch effort on their part to make sure that everything went. You were like kind of the undercover sneaky agent that wasn't on any roster. And you managed to elude the attack on the Amber Keep as you were scouting out kind of the surrounding areas. And so you've been investigating this situation as well and witnessed these people who were approaching, and you were trying to get kind of a sense of what, whether they were tied to the Amber Gleaners or not. And as you were seeing Shent being dragged away, who you don't necessarily know at this point, but you see, do you have any kind of like a patch of some kind or something with the Amber Gleaners or something that we could identify?
I could have an
a
arm.
ribbon or something.
Yeah. Definitely see like a green humanoid being drug away.
Okay.
Looks human, but it's all green.
Yeah, we should do the moment where everybody like describes their character for a blip of like the like establishing shot of your character, so that the audience
And
can
read the sentence of your character.
and read the sentence of your focus and descriptor and whatnot. Does that sound good? And it can be in this moment, like you're reacting to being dragged away or like engaged in your philosophical conversation or whatnot, in whatever order you wish.
My character, so it's Shent, the strong glaive who moves like a cat, has been knocked out and is being drug away like a sleeping cat. It's just like, this is the pose.
Yeah, the noodle.
Yeah, the noodle, exactly.
Great.
A cat plant noodle.
I was playing the catnip all night.
Yeah, I think my shot is definitely of Kele irritating Forfax. Forfax has like a book that he's like trying to study or something, and Kele is just there like over his shoulder, like trying to get at him, and he's kind of like turning away from him. And...
read your sentence?
Oh, sorry. Forfax is in a. Well, that's not actually part of it. Forfax is an empirical Arcus who adores the Leviathan.
Adures.
Adures. Yeah.
Kele Sunlandic is a nurturing right who builds tomorrow, and eventually after Kele gets bored of aggravating Forfax, sits down cross-legged in front of Forfax reading his book and is tinkering with some binoculars, and is at this point built some shiny gadget on top of the binoculars to do something that binoculars would normally do, and is now looking through them up at Forfax like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're like new to the Destiny rules of Numenera, or just tuning in, Wright is a kind of gadgeteer builder kind of character, and Arcus is our like kind of charisma kind of talking character. Glaive is our kind of warrior, and a Jack is our kind of sneaky character. What does Marin look like?
Yes, so Marin is a rugged Jack who hunts. And I just see everything that Marin has on their body is just completely utilitarian in nature. It's like they are used to being out in the wilderness on their own,
Turned on.
Or even exploring in urban environments and being able to get in and out of trouble as they arise. And so everything that they are wearing is just completely utilitarian, and it's just form-fitted enough to get them to so they can squeeze in and out of tight spaces, but just tons of pockets and things hidden in those pockets, and it has a bow and a broadsword and a spear strapped to their back.
Yes.
So
all the tools
loaded for bear.
So like cargo pants, are we talking about?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like even like pockets on, like little pockets that hold ciphers and things
Yes.
like that on, like a jacket, like even a tactical vest kind of thing.
Cool.
And cargo pants and like a bandolier. Just like I said, just has everything they need to survive for at least a month out in the wilderness.
But the most important question is, what does their hair look like?
Oh, that is a good question. They actually bald. Yeah, just shaved head.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Easy to take care of.
Nothing to grab onto.
That's right. Right, a tactical advantage.
And Kele.
Yes, Kele Sunlandic is a relentless delve who explores yesterday. The delve is our kind of like ranger scavenger-like class. And I imagine that my shot starts out like from Kele's vision, and it's like the sky coming into focus, and then Kele just like sits upright from having like fallen on the ground, disoriented from the chloroforming, and is looking around in like despair,
wiping off
seeing that
the weird
Shent
red
is nowhere,
secretion.
and staggering,
Gross.
run falling back in the direction of the crew to let them know that Shent has been taken.
Dangerous.
And you said that my character would probably be what was in this general vicinity as well as witness this happen. Is the I'm sorry, what's the name of the creature? The
Phrontex.
The Phrontex. Is the Phrontex in range of a spear?
To throw?
Yes.
I think they're within long range.
Okay.
Does a spear...
I can throw up to long range.
Cool.
Whoa. This is serious.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's like 60 feet or something. Or is
Yeah,
it
I think
100
long is
feet?
100. Yeah.
That's it.
Heck yeah!
Yes.
Let's see if we can make it. So that would be
100 feet.
a speed.
Freaking Olympian.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Too bad. I mean,
I'm throwing
to
a
that wall, it's
spear
probably like
at the
30.
Phrontex.
Yeah.
I could see it being either speed or... Well, ranged attacks are typically speed.
Or speed. Okay. So I'm going to expend effort.
Something that you're throwing.
So how much is my...
Yeah, effort is like 3 points from your
3
pool.
points. And I have edge.
How far is it? 100?
Then it'll be only 2
Then
points.
it'll be 2 points. So I'm going to
It'll reduce it
expend.
then.
Reasonable.
I'm going to expend effort then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh no!
Ooh.
That was bad.
At least it wasn't a 1.
It's not a 1.
GM intrusion is.
Are you trained in?
Great. Another
It is
person.
not the first
Another
time.
right into him.
You know what?
Right into the same hole.
You have not been seen. So I'm gonna say that you have an asset from not having been seen.
Okay.
However, it is still not enough. Because it's gonna be eased twice. Because you used effort and you have an asset from being stealth, so you're 1.
You can use an
1
XP
off.
to reroll.
That was what my next question was going to be. So I think that I am going to do that.
Okay.
Use an XP and reroll.
If it was meaningful enough. But if you roll a 1, then it's gonna hit Shen.
Yeah.
Kills him.
Or worse.
I think I was using
Try
this
this
little
again.
Come on.
Oh, well, that's an 8.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
That hits.
All right.
Brilliant.
I have a staff.
Okay. So how much damage does it do?
4 points.
4 points of damage.
Yes.
So it's that one.
Nice.
Because my guy looks human, basically. He's just green.
So
Playing someone with a hunchback.
Yeah, I got yours.
He has plant DNA in the same way that Bash the Stampede.
the how does he go down?
Oh, this one?
You take down this. It is 2 of them that
Yeah.
we're pulling, but one of them goes down.
Yeah,
Describe it.
And like he's just dragging dude along, and all of a sudden spear just like bursts through wherever his heart would be, and just sinks, just plops to the ground.
His mandibles flail
Yeah.
about for a moment, and his claws scuttle along the shaft of the spear, and then it's just like.
Yep, just sinks.
Ava, what's your character like generally armed with? What sort of a mini should I look for?
A bow or a
what-
broadsword
Mm-hmm.
or a spear. Because I have all 3 of those things.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Armor-esque.
Yeah.
You're bald.
Yeah. Or wearing like some type of headgear, like I could see them like being like a stocking cap or something like that.
Looks
so,
like Orion.
yeah.
As this creature drops to its knees, it
Yeah. all right.
makes a weird ululating, like dying death rattle cry, and the other one like picks up this cry, and so you guys that are hanging out back hear this like, and then they're both like weird, like syncopated weirdness going on.
Shoot.
And so you're alerted to that, and Kele, you saw this spear hurtle out from nowhere and take down this creature, and Shent is like dropped onto the ground, and the other one is just like, and then you hear like commotion coming from inside
that
the
means
crystalline
more are
cave.
coming. But I kind of want to seize this opportunity to go grab like, I don't care where the spear came from, I'm gonna get our boy.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I duck back into the shadows as soon as that happens. It's like I throw and I duck into the shadows.
Sweet.
Oh man.
All right, give me a
feel like-
speed.
Yeah.
A speed check.
I'm
Is the red
nervous.
stuff like thick, like blood or paint? Or
I
is
think
it,
it's
like watery?
I'm kind of thinking like barbecue sauce.
Okay.
thick. Yeah.
Effort.
It's like thick, but it's not
If
like
anything,
coagulating
like, I feel like
right
she's
away.
moving like she's
No, it like
inebriated.
it'll like run and drip off, but it definitely dries
Yes.
Yeah.
as
Sorry,
well.
like,
Yeah,
I
because it
need
dried on
effort,
that
emotional.
that surface that they
It's
painted.
emotional effort. That's a 2 with emotional effort.
You guys are rolling poorly.
And is effort?
It's 3 minus your edge.
Okay, awesome. Remember.
How do you feel about a GM intrusion?
Come on in.
You want to accept it?
Yeah, because I want to level up.
Yeah. All right. You get an XP. You can pass one to any of your player of your choice.
Yeah, I'm like, obviously I have to give it to her guest
Big.
star.
Big.
Plus, they did throw that epic spear. So.
Yeah, savior.
Kapow!
As you're running towards this,
staggering
towards it. You slip in this mud
Yeah,
puddle
not
and
surprised.
slide forward, and in that moment, the sky, there's just a boom of thunder in the sky, and it's been cloudy. You guys remember when I said that it was cloudy?
Yeah.
Remember?
It's in my notes from last
It
session.
was gloomy and cloudy because the mood
Kelly thinks
struck.
it's always gloomy and cloudy.
Yes, that's actually very true. Well, the sky just starts pouring rain.
Oh, good. Get that shit off my face.
Yes. And immediately there's like puddles and rivulets forming and whatnot in the mud.
That's been one of my dreams, to make every single complication that it starts raining.
It starts
If you get
raining.
a success with a complication, it starts raining.
Yep, it starts raining.
It's basically always storming when I throw a fight in any of my games.
Yep. But this
Like,
this
I'm
does have
in here.
worth because the difficulty of actions for all combatants is going to be increased by one step for the next 5
Whoa.
minutes
And you
as it
get
pours.
I
you
did
got your
it.
XP.
Yeah.
To level.
When we
Or not
have
level up,
some
but
rest to concentrate that experience into some sort of meaningful lesson. Right now, I'm just in the mud.
And you
But
deserve it.
soon you'll have had like a therapy session and you'll be like
Yeah.
all set.
Right
like,
is right.
I have to wait for counseling.
That's right.
So the two of us are further back.
Yeah, I think you basically, if you guys are planning on catching up, it would take this turn at like a full run to reach them, and then we can roll initiative.
Yeah, I wasn't certain that we were aware that they.
They like made this cry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As
Then
We did not know that they had got abducted. We did not see that, but
Okay.
we hear this thing.
Then I'm absolutely like running up as fast as I can. So
Okay.
I'm fine with that. Taking my turn.
So we'll say you guys are a long distance off as you arrive on the scene.
Okay.
And then let's all roll initiative. And I need index cards.
White dice is getting put away.
Oh, look
I
at
rolled
that.
Another one on
That is
accident.
hot.
I put it down after I rolled down.
dice, baby, tonight.
There we go.
Got some hot dice, baby,
Yeah.
tonight.
You know, my Indigo Sunset dice that I picked especially because they were my favorite color are not doing me so hot.
Indigo Sunset. Where's our Kraken
four.
dice, Keith?
I know. I need to. I haven't seen any updates
So
since the last
desperate for
round.
them.
But I know we ordered some Kraken dice on the Kickstarter and are still waiting on it. But they will be
Still
glorious when they arrive.
It allows you to either add
Is it
new
a
moves to
D20
your
for our-
skills or
See
make
if
it.
I'm trained in something.
Initiative.
Yes.
If you're already
I
trained,
had a
it'll
3.
make it,
And if you
These are
beat
good ones.
a 2,
like
Oh,
I did.
good.
Wow.
So I was only trained, but now I'm
I did.
specialized.
I
Like
did
a
as
2.
well.
Right, what
Like a
effect does that
6?
have on my roll? Is
I
it-
did not.
Lower it
Oh,
by 2.
no, I didn't.
Okay.
Beat a 6.
yeah, a 6 on the die.
Instead
Sorry,
of like,
difficulty 2.
yeah.
I did.
That makes
I
sense,
beat it.
right?
All right, so Shent is going before them.
A 4, it would be 2. Just trained.
Forfax is going
It would be a 3
after.
difficulty. Your specialized would be a 2.
I'm trained in initiative.
The difficulties.
If you want to.
Basically,
Yeah,
difficulties
so
are
what do you
1.
want?
What does that mean?
It's 1 times 3, right?
Because
So
that I'm not
difficulty 2
going
is
against a
6.
number.
Oh,
9.
yeah.
Marin is going
I see.
after
I
it.
thought you were talking about for the level up. I'm so
No.
sorry.
How'd you
Would
guys?
anyone like a beer?
She's trained in initiative.
Initiative.
Beer. Beer.
No, but
How does
Josh,
that
can you
work?
hand me the
It will
my
shift it
pizza
down
that
one,
is-
so
that pizza
you're
box that's in
as
there?
long as you beat a 3 on the die,
Yes.
then you.
Use one of the box.
That's
Or it's like
Barely.
there's like one slice in there if you want to like put it on a plate or something or a napkin.
Please
great.
serve me, Joshua.
Yes,
Well done.
please. Wait on me hand
I got
and
an
foot.
18.
Put
18,
me up in
excellent.
your house and just do everything for me.
Do you want it warmed up?
No.
Could you grate some Parmesan and black
Yes.
pepper on it, please?
Preferably from a very long grater.
Yes.
Extra long grater for me, thank you.
All right, so we're gonna be doing Shent, Kele, and Kelu are going. This side of the table is
Okay.
all going.
Okay.
Then I will go, and then this side goes at in any order on each group, right?
Okay, yeah.
Those are cool.
You said
kinda like
Shent,
'em.
Kilo, and Kele. Was it
Great.
Forfax, Kilo, and Kele?
Very bright.
I got a 13, so
Okay.
You got a
so
13,
it's
yeah,
these 3
those
and
3,
then
I'm
those
sorry.
3. No worries.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
You 3 go in any order, then I go, and then you 2 go in any order, and I can leave it out, kind of proppy like. Prop-like. So Shent, Kele, or Kele.
Well, what do we see? Oh, well, what do I see?
Yeah, you've just arrived. You're about 100. You're a long distance off from the commotion happening, and you see one of these beetle-like cretins with a spear through it, and it has died. And the other one is crouching down and struggling to pick up Shent, who is crumpled on the ground.
And do I see?
And you see
Kelly's foot
Kelly?
probably in there.
sliding across the mud, and it is pouring rain.
And I'm a long distance off. Remind me about movement.
If you spend your whole turn moving, you'll have to make a roll, but you'll get there. It'd be difficulty 4 speed task.
Ooh.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can spend an action to move half of that and get a short distance. Because I assumed you guys were like a decent ways off from the people who were sneaking up.
Let's see. There's no skill for like running. There's just like climbing and jumping.
Yeah, there might. I mean, if you're trained in running, then that would help.
Yeah,
So-
I'm trained in climbing. Jumping actions.
Okay, so I have flex skill as one of my special abilities, which allows me to choose one task on which you will concentrate for the rest of the day. You're trained in that task, so could I activate that and be like, I'm trained in running?
Trained in running, sure.
Yeah, cool. Then I'm going to, as closely as I can, like in the shadows or like undercover, I'm going to start running towards the other, being. I keep forgetting their name.
Phrontex.
Phrontex. Oh, I'm going to write it down. Phrontex. Well, the Phrontex, I'm going to take off, like, running after it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. He hasn't moved, like, from where the other one was. So.
But I'm running up on him.
Okay.
On him now. Like, I want to take
Is this
the other
in
way
the
out.
initiative?
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't she at the
Or no,
bottom?
I'm sorry. No, yeah, you're at the bottom.
Oh. Well then,
Sorry.
don't do anything.
Sorry, I was thinking that
now
whole
we
time. I was like,
know.
I'm
Now we
so
know.
confused what happened here.
I don't know what happened to you. Yeah,
It's okay.
All right. Well then, I don't do anything.
okay.
And someone else whose turn it is goes.
Now you know.
Sorry.
You dream about all those
Yes.
things.
Yeah,
They seem
I didn't
lovely.
catch that.
It's okay.
Well,
Keep in mind, everyone's actions are going to be hindered
if I see
from the rain.
All
If I
actions,
see-
or was it attack? What?
All actions.
if I see Shent on the ground and I see Kele on the ground, then I'm obviously running at Kele.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that she's not dead.
Give me a
She doesn't know either.
Now is she the same distance off?
Yeah, we're all.
Okay, so you're up
pretty
close.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 4. Obviously, I'm gonna use effort.
Obviously.
I guess we should use minis. And...
Yeah.
Oh, I put a bunch of them right there, man.
Okay.
Let's see. I need to. I gotta roll it'll be eased once.
This is Shent, right?
So I'm rolling
Nope.
for
No.
a 9. Oh no, I don't feel good about it. But I
This
believe
is her.
there it is.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Practice
I get
makes
there.
perfect.
I get.
But
Okay, so you get all the way up.
did you nail it? There was a difficulty 4,
I used effort
And you
I
used-
got an 11.
and you used effort, but the rain has got it back to the normal difficulty. So 12.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't. I forgot about that.
So you
Probably wouldn't have been. I probably wouldn't have tried for that if I knew it was a 5.
well, either way, you'll just get the halfway. You're like running and kind of like slipping and sliding a little bit in the mud, so you get to be 50 feet out.
I think that makes sense with your effort. You're trying so hard that it's actually working against you.
Let's
You're
see.
so compassionate for someone who is actually nurturing.
This is a little bit abstracted.
passionate.
Just go with it.
Yeah, this distance. Whatever.
They're all an immediate distance. This is a short. and you guys are short from each other.
Use your imagination.
Okay, so he's here.
Oh, sorry. And this
This is
Kelly.
Oh, okay.
You just got us confused, which makes sense because we're twins.
Yes. You guys
What
are
if we
similar.
could use identical figures?
That would be super helpful. Much preferable. Okay, so who?
This is my reality, Keith. We can't make jokes about this.
Shent, give me a might test to might defense to shake this.
Wake on up.
Is this also one extra because of the rain situation
I
that's
think we
going
should
on?
actually
I don't
make
think
it
so.
easier
Okay.
to wake up.
Yeah, I do think it actually
And you said might?
it should be eased. Yeah.
Okay.
I was
So
just being sassy.
Your emotional state, by the way, I'm screaming.
so you're looking at a 6 on the die.
Things that
Oh,
you're
okay.
screaming
I think I'm just
at,
gonna
but
roll
nothing's
raw.
actually going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here we go.
Shent wakes up and like
Sleeping Beauty
is
over
just
here.
immediately scraping this. Like,
And this stuff is like wet, so it's kind of running off your
the
face.
rain, and he's just spitting it.
And you're like face to face with this Phrontex. Has this weird like beetle-like head. Its eyes are like swiveling around as you're like
Yeah.
waking, and its like mandibles are right up in your
I
face.
mean, I
and
do
it's
that like the back crab movement, right? Even though if I'm not moving anywhere, I'm just like,
Yeah, you try to back up.
yeah. Can I move in this moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you still have an action. That was mostly just to see if you were.
All right. Yeah. So I
Losing
mean,
it
I
if you're
do.
stunned.
I like do that back, like the crab walk backwards, and then like, kind of like do a cool slide up onto my feet, and I'm just like, like a
Yes.
cat. And I'm just waiting. I'm not.
Say you're right by Kele,
Yeah.
who like kind of slid across the ground right by you.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's that cool move, where the sensei draws the line in the sand
Yes.
by getting into position.
Okay, so we know that we've got more of these guys coming. And we've got backup. We've got both sides of reinforcements coming, and it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't truly know who this other is.
Yeah, we don't know who threw the spear.
True.
I might. Ooh.
The ninja
Yeah, can
assassin.
I do a perception type check in that
Yeah.
movement to see if I notice that
Yeah,
person
I
coming
think you
at
guys can
us?
do an opposed perception to stealth.
To see if they're coming.
And if you're trained in this, then you'll just add +3 to this die roll.
Okay.
If you're not
I got a
rolling,
nat
if you're rolling
20.
against each other, you do it that way.
I got a nat 20.
Oh no, let's see.
Mm,
Oh, I have an inability in deception. Well,
you got stealth though?
I do not have stealth.
Oh, okay. I just
just
assumed
rolling
that you were
normal.
stealthy.
Yeah, I assumed as well. Let's see. You gain an asset of all types of movement tasks, including climbing, swimming, jumping, and balancing.
That's
So would that not include stealth?
All movement tasks.
movement.
That would totally include running.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
You
Well,
asked
then
earlier
yes.
about running.
Yeah.
And it's called Stalker, so I think
Yeah.
it makes sense that
So it doesn't need to
also
be your flex
stealth.
skill. Your flex skill could be sneaking.
cool. It could be.
Or woodworking.
Man, I think
It's
all
all
types of movement.
Philosophy and it's an option as well.
Yeah, you think
include-
stealth
would include
stealth
stealthing,
stealth,
right?
stealth
Yeah.
applies to movement?
Yeah.
Our last
It's
track
called-
was
it's
very
called
insistent
Stalker,
on picking
too.
like
Yeah,
the most
that's the name of the
absurd
ability,
things to
so-
make them fit
Yeah,
in the
right.
narrative somehow.
Jeez.
13.
Yeah, boy.
So. But he still rolled a nat 20, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, as I'm doing my movement, I'm like pan and I see this thing.
And with a nat 20, you also see the same like ribbon or whatnot that they identified from you. So you're like, in that moment, like, oh,
Yeah.
and Amber Gleaner.
I recognize, somebody from our pack.
Yeah, and you're like somewhere else altogether,
Sorry.
right?
Yeah.
I just had to roll for
I
a
am
little
not
bit.
with the
She's like over here.
Yeah.
To get that out of your system.
I just had to get it out.
Because I've got what I needed now. I've got Shent, he's on his feet, he's alive.
And you're seeing this one, it was like all up in Shen's
Yeah.
face and was like, but as he was scuttling backwards, he's like it is glancing back, is repeatedly rubbing its armpits
So
with,
no.
with its claws to get the like stuff back on it.
That character that did the smell the armpit.
Yes.
But it looks hesitant to diving in because it can see that at least in its immediate vision there's 3 people and there's one person who just killed his friend, its friend, who even knows what gender this thing is. But it is clearly like hesitant and glancing back towards the lair.
Yeah, man, Kele and that creature have like the same energy. It's like let's go.
You got a bond across enemy lines here.
On the other
deal with
hand,
you, you
like
deal with
we've
me.
lost any advantage we would have had sneaking up. They know we're coming now. We have to go into the lair. So I think that I'm going to roll covering fire to help assist any further attacks on this creature should I
Sweet.
succeed.
All right.
What am I aiming for?
His target number is a 2.
Okay, but
You can use.
is that with the disadvantage from rain factored in?
It's kind of weird because I
Okay.
guess in a way you guys are both disadvantaged, right?
Yeah. Does that just neutralize it?
Yeah, I guess that is
Okay.
kind of weird to think about, huh?
I mean, if it's an opposed roll, yeah. But if it's like a roll against like a set DC,
Yeah.
then not necessarily. Right?
Well, well, I guess it's actions, so it's not making his number higher. It's
Okay.
more affecting you, but
Yes.
so it affects players,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But it is a GM intrusion, so sorry, not sorry.
We brought this on ourselves.
Yeah,
By we, I mean the dice.
The dice,
yes,
yeah.
the
I
dice.
hope you heard me.
I think the gravity well is angered by that.
Tomfoolery that transpired.
Yes.
I think I saw it shake a little.
I rolled an 11.
All right. Well, you do succeed. Okay, so his next attack suffers disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm just ready to. Throw the Sisk to just like distract it.
Yeah, and he like bunkers down in his beetle form.
Yeah, maybe I just throw it to like not actually hit it, but like go around its head to get it to be like what?
Yeah, and it drops like low and is like kind of scuttling back towards the lair in yes. Yeah.
All right.
Which actually it's turn, eh?
Yeah.
So indeed, it bolts back to the lair, and it is arriving at the door just as a figure emerges from it that you could only assume is the leader.
Is it wearing a lot of fancy hats?
It is wearing some kind of strange bestial skull.
Close enough.
That's a fancy hat.
This is a
To a
Numenera
Phrontex.
theme. If it's not a mind flayer, then it wears a fancy skull key. So I have
Good
to ask
point.
myself, is it a mind flayer?
And it steals your memory by using ciphers.
Yes.
So
And he is it is has a staff that has a green crystal at the top, and there's a bunch of like wires like coming down from the crystal, like kind of draped along the staff, and is making the weird insectile noises to the others, and they're talking back and forth for a second, and then it raises its head towards the people it can see here and says in a kind of strange broken language of truth, it says, "Who goes in my lair? Foot falls near lair."
Good thing your charisma character's back here.
yeah, right? Yeah, I'm like, I throw it a middle finger. I don't know.
How tall is this thing?
He's just a little bit I don't think he's even necessarily bigger than the
Okay.
others.
But it just like humanoid size. It's not
They are human-sized, yeah.
monstrous.
He's wearing wearing armor. The rest of them have not been. But you can also see other of them kind of moving about in the lair. And Forfax is up, or Forfax or Marin. You guys can go in.
Well, I think
Whatever
I don't think I'm gonna attempt a DC 5 or DC 4 with effort, and in fact, I have to even spend more effort because I'm armored. So I'm just gonna take the action to
The
move
action to
up.
get the
I think it
15.
would just be too hard for me to.
Okay.
Too hard and too costly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Forfax is just trudging up.
Okay. Sorry that delayed you.
It's okay.
Okay. What
Okay.
is Marin doing?
Marin is going to. Let's see, Marin's kind of hiding over here. I kind of want to go for another one of these Phrontex. But,
Got a taste for blood.
yes.
Or an armpit secretion.
Yes.
Yes. Not my thing,
That's how these creatures made. They smell each other's armpits
Ooh,
first
yeah.
to make sure it's
Yeah.
the right juiciness.
Yeah, they have to know whether it's the right concoction of fluids secreting from their armpits.
Yeah.
but. Okay, so I'm gonna use another one of my special
Roll
abilities
from this one, put it on this one for some reason.
and create deadly poison,
Okay.
which I am going to apply to my broadsword.
Excellent.
So yeah, it says that you can apply this poison as part of the action of creating it, but I assume that is.
Yeah, it'll take up your turn, but
That's fine.
it's applied and created.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I can't move as well during my turn.
You could move, I think, basically 10 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna stealth then for another, as far as I can.
Okay.
So I move another 10 feet.
Which was
Yes.
And then that's my turn.
Okay.
Oh, because it's a little bit high.
All right. You have applied
It's a normal.
a poison to the broadsword, and then we're back up to the
Is
top.
there a Destiny book out on the table somewhere?
There is a destiny. It's warm now from my lap.
It is.
Back at the top with Shent, Kele, or Kilu.
Shoot. I never know what to do in a fight.
Well, I want to answer its question. I don't know necessarily that I'll roll any, charisma behind it, but
Yeah.
I mean, it asked.
Technically, I could attack,
Yeah.
but I'm
Go for it. You can roll a charisma or an
Yeah,
intellect.
persuasion or something.
If you're trained in
Yeah.
persuasion or otherwise just intellect.
No. I guess I'm not trying to persuade it of any. Well, I guess so. We'll just go for it.
Yeah, it looks pretty upset that.
Yo, 19.
Nice.
Bazam.
We saw marks of your kind at the Amber Gleaner settlement, and we noticed all the people were gone. We're just looking after our own, just like you. I think we can settle this without more secretion shed.
Whoa.
Kelly's an Arcus now.
Yeah.
Class change.
Face morph.
You see, kind of like in the flash of lightning, there's like a flash of green, like eye shine in its eyes, and it's like mandibles are kind of clicking together, and it says, "Well, yes, your creatures scuttled about our home, and it was our right to take them and deliver them unto our demon god."
Alright, that's all we needed to know. Thanks.
Yes.
Excuse me, you're gonna have to run that by me again.
They've got a demon god!
It's demon god here.
Fire it well!
Demon god, everybody, demon god.
But he does seem to be like less aggressive at this initiation of peace.
I mean, is it
But he
like?
doesn't seem particularly intelligent.
Yeah, I do recall that they, like, it seemed like they were being controlled by something, so maybe if we can find out what their demon god is.
Because all things are controlled.
Yeah, controlled.
Yeah. Seems like they have all taken a less aggressive and more negotiative stance as their leader is. You guys get the impression watching them that none of them actually know what you guys are saying. That only the leader speaks in the language of the truth, right? The rest of them are kind of like doing one of these like back and forth things with like no sense of recognition over what's going on.
It's like when you kind of say yes and no at the same time, you just go in circles. You're like, maybe.
Yeah.
So Shent and Kele can go in whatever order you guys are.
I think I know what I'm gonna do. So now that I've seen that Kele is actually fine, I like sort of drop to my knees because I'm exhausted from running, and the tears have sort of started to come down a little bit.
But it's unrecognizable because it's also raining.
Correct. I'm wet, very wet, and sad. But
We always have a character that cries excessively. It's obligatory.
Yep.
and the staff he's holding has caught my eye. I'd like to do some sort of like figure out what it is roll, basically.
Yeah. Understanding Numenera would help in this situation.
That's funny. I have an unadvantage at that. That's all straight.
An inability.
I find that to be so weird about rights that they're like,
I mean-
I can make it, but I don't understand how it works.
Yeah, it seems
Kind of weird, but
strange.
it makes sense in
Just
a
some of
mechanical
that voodoo.
sense.
I
That,
don't
Maybe there was
know.
something was broken. They had to fix it by
It's
doing
witchcraft.
yeah, it's the thing that nanos are good at. So they're like nanos like
Yeah.
grasp it, like can identify things.
Yeah, it makes a little more sense for delves to have the inability and not understanding, because it's like, I can find this shit, but I don't know what it does. But for some reason, I'm like, I crafted this, but I don't get it.
Yeah,
It's a little...
yeah.
Can you explain this to me?
This intricate thing that I engineered.
I built the plans, but what do I know?
I just put it all together in witchcraft powers that I don't know.
Well, I'm still staring at it. I'm gonna see understanding Numenera.
I think the rain is not going to affect this roll. It
unless
doesn't.
it's hitting me in the eyes really
I like
hard.
that you thought about it, though. I was retroactively, I was like, did it impact my persuasion?
At this moment, as I'm staring at this thing,
It's raining really hard.
I think
It's
my
hard
metallic
You can
printer
see.
starts doing its thing.
Yes. He has an oddity that creates one page of paper
Yes,
every day.
one day at a random amount of time, and I wear it like a fanny pack on my back, and so it like just prints this sheet off of my back, and it's just getting so wet
like
now.
dot matrix paper.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yes,
It's like- You can hear the rain hitting it.
Yes, but it 3D prints it. It creates the page out of nothingness, but it also like for some reason sounds like a dot matrix printer. Or a fax machine.
But it also has like you've got to like tear away the perforated like holes on the side. Like
And
you just
not get a
have
paper
for no
cut.
reason.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
it created it that way.
Yep.
We don't know why.
Yep.
The most-
Because witchcraft.
To feed it out.
It's the sharpest paper known to man. The edge of those.
All right,
Yes.
here I go. Understanding Numenera at a disadvantage in the rain.
Do it. 11.
You never know.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
It's definitely a cipher. And you did not succeed, but I'm going to give you some information. It's definitely a cipher, and you would get the sense that it is a weapon.
Okay, that's good. That's a thank you for that.
Is that helpful?
Since I failed, you gave me a lot.
You were
more than I
you were
expected.
kind of close. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Did I
definitely
miss it by
not
one
stick.
again? Because I missed the
No,
last
no.
one.
It was
Okay.
like 3 or so.
Gotcha.
I think you could make another action of some kind, like small one. Perception or because that is pretty small.
Yeah, I guess I look around to see if I see this human who threw this thing. Obviously, someone threw this freaking spear. Like,
Yeah,
where the
know
heck
that
did
it's
this
a
come from?
human.
Something threw
True.
this spear.
True. Yeah, you can make a perception.
And it might have been the thing that keeps us going, the god that we aspire to, but who knows? That's a nat 20 against
Yo.
Ava again.
Oh man, come on, guys.
You still suck.
We're meant to be friends.
Oh,
my god.
I'm looking right at you.
Fine. Yeah, clearly everybody
Makes
sees me.
eye contact out of nowhere.
So you definitely.
I'm so glad you rolled those 20s on
You
receiving
well,
the
whenever
player
you hear
The
this
rain
dot
broke the
matrix
rock.
noise, you're kind of like,
Yeah,
look
yeah,
over,
it's
and I'm like,
yeah, we just lock eyes, and I'm like, yeah, it's like, what the hell, man?
Are you pooping
I'm
paper
like
right now?
reaching back. I'm like, while looking at you.
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely see her, and you know or I'm sorry,
It's fine.
you see them and identify that they're a amber gleaner, and you get the sense that the Phrontex don't know that they're there, that they're being pretty sneaky, and they've been unseen.
Kilu is not super, like, great in battle. He doesn't have a lot of battle smarts, so he's probably like,
And with the 20, I forgot to say it too, Randy. You get a major effect. So you could like ease your next roll, like reduce it. You could also take another action, or some things you can do with major effects. You can also kind of narratively describe some kind of great thing that happens due to the roll that you just made.
Yeah, that works great with what I'm currently thinking. So are you done, Daniel?
well, I might take my major effect, but if you know something to do with your major effect, you can go ahead.
I don't know if I'll really be able to right now, 'cause it sounds like these other guys are kind of being negotiable, and Shent has been in many a battle, and you take negotiation over war. So I was like, in my pose, and he stands up and like has been standing there. We're trying to let the rain wash his face off, 'cause that pit goo is nasty, and he's like wiping it off.
Yeah, it's all like stringy and.
So
It's like Smucker's jam.
Yes.
yeah.
But it signifies a little too quick.
Kind of a little bit gritty almost.
I think
it.
I think it also does have like a lot of sugar in it too.
Oh, it's
It's like sticky and like
nectar.
No.
Pit nectar.
yeah,
Bit nectar.
pit nectar. Yeah, it's a jam. It's
Baby, come take a smell whiff of my pit nectar.
ew. Pit nectar.
I've been getting this stuff going for days.
Pit nectar.
It just sounds like a
Right.
bad
I mean, you said glandular paste earlier, and I don't think that was any better at all.
Correct.
That was like gross. Not by that. I don't know if you said paste, but glandular is like
Pit nectar implies that somebody's gonna want it.
Yeah.
nectar. Ooh, it's sweet to someone. Yeah.
Glandular jam.
We're not. It's just
So
not gonna get any better. It's not gonna
the-
get better.
People that were attacked me and one that was like basically dead. How far are they? Still pretty close to us, or did he take that? Did they like gather themselves?
Yeah,
back to
they're
the
pretty
entrance?
close. I think they're a short distance away from you guys.
All right. So I'm going.
The body
to,
is like right next to you.
Yeah.
guys,
So
but-
I'm going to retract my not retract. Extend my pole arm. Right. So I like make kind of like a show where I pull it off my clip and like, and it just like shoots out, and I come over next to the body and I like put the pole down, and next to it I'm like, if you would like to collect your dead, we can perhaps
Over my dead body.
we can continue this dialogue of
It's dead body.
this dialogue of cooperation, and perhaps your demon god can be appeased in other ways.
in the moment of silence, the corpse next to you kind of quivers a little bit, like some death throes.
Oh man.
I make an effort not to spit on it, but spit away from it as I'm still trying to get that stuff out.
Are you making a like persuasion?
I think I should, even though I don't know if I'm really super skilled in any of
Hey,
that.
sometimes you roll 19.
True.
You're not trained in
Exactly.
Very true.
So, and this is an intellect roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can
And you
ease
can.
it a bit
Yeah.
due to your major effect.
Ooh, that
True.
is it. Let's
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, and then you can spend effort if you want to from your intellect pool.
I think I'm gonna just roll with the major effect. Or-
Okay.
Is that what it's called? Major
Effect, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Major is a 20 and a minor is like a 19.
Cool.
And does
So
the
I'll
rain
roll with
affect
that. Whoa! Explosion.
Exploding dice.
Yeah, exploding dice. Oh man. It's like, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. And it's not intimidation. What would this?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Persuasion. That's it. So I got an 11.
It's like
An 11.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or it's good and they're like,
No.
That's right on the edge.
Your hands away from that.
That does it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Succeeds. And you're kind of your goal is to like continue a peaceful
matter if you've been to or
conversation.
not.
Yeah.
Not escalate it at all.
No,
right?
the goal is to be like, you know, confrontation accepted. I was the one that was, taken down. Like, this, your thing is, your buddy's dead, but we'll, let you retrieve it.
Okay. So the leader says, It is only fair that one of us has died because we have taken many of yours, and so all is fair and even, and no more lives need be spilled. All is forgiven. Peace between our claws
Like,
and your fleshy digits.
it's like, does that mean that we get our people back?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Should I smash this thing?
But yeah, okay, I didn't give you guys quite enough because that was already kind of a step. Like, that's the
Alright.
weird thing
I mean, it's
about
your
social
turn, right?
interactions that I'm always struggling with is like
Yeah.
what like giving up. Like you succeeded at something, so it should advance in some like meaningful way, right? So you already had kind of established peace. Now you've kind of got something a step further. So the leader says, "I am called Tox.
Called Tox or called?
Called Tox." Come and feast with us and talk, well, not talk, but and click talk shall be spoken among our mandibles and your flesh holes.
what does he want to do with our flesh holes?
Whoa. That's like
Gonna have to ask
third
for
date.
consent, buddy.
So do we need to ask if they're eating our friends?
I think we just go to the dinner table and find out.
When's it my turn?
Yeah.
Because I can specifically figure out if people are flesh eating. That's my thing.
Okay. Okay.
Did you go in the first half of that last?
those-
No, I'm after the GM.
Oh, you are
Backtracking to do
after the GM.
his major effect, and you
Okay, yeah,
was
sorry.
triggered
Did
by
my major
your
effect.
major effect. So, what was the major effect you were going to do? And then we'll.
That was kind of also his turn, I think.
Yes, it was.
I'm done.
That's right.
I'm gonna just wait and probably ease a future task. If
Okay.
okay.
Great. Okay.
Probably just the next one.
And the on my turn, the Tox speaks in the weird beetle tongue to the other ones, and they are like looking around like in confusion and are like gesticulating at one another and like talking, and he's like kind of already made his decree, and then the other ones are like talking to each other. Like you get this feeling of being like, what, are you serious? You know, like they're like kind of a little bit frantic and like looking at you guys, and then finally they're all kind of parting ways and welcoming you inside. And Talks, the leader, well, I'll say he's waiting out, gesturing with his claws towards this crystalline structure that has this crack in it that they're walking in and out of. Pink crystalline structure that they seem to have taken residence in. And Forfax.
Yeah.
Or Marin.
If you
I have an idea of what I'd like to do. And this is returning to the kind of weird question of my ninth world bestiary, trained in lore of flesh-eating non-humanoid creatures, recognizing them, knowing their weakness, habits, behavior. I mean, do I need to give up my turn to do that, to know whether these guys are, if I even haven't know anything about them?
No, you don't have to give up your turn for that. You
just to, I mean, I'm talking about just to like know whether it's worth actually making the roll or not, right? Because it's weird that it's specific. It's not just like monsters. I have monster lore, so then anytime it's a monster, I know I can roll and I have a chance of doing it. It's like specifically flesh-eating non-humanoid. But I see a non-humanoid creature, I don't know that it's flesh-eating yet. As a player, and maybe even as my character, I'm asking you, that's the weird part about it, is I'm like, do I actually, should my thing be working here with this creature or not?
How do you utilize that skill? Do you need to roll? Or
do I roll first, or is it okay
know.
for me to kind of ask beforehand and then be like, yes, this thing is flesh-eating, because I'll be rolling to learn that information, or I don't know.
They are flesh-eating.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's a little bit more complicated.
Not necessarily human flesh or whatever, but yeah, well, it still seems, I don't know. Can I use this? Would I know them then?
Yeah.
Is that reasonable?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, so, I mean...
You can sense it in their connection to the Leviathan.
Okay, cool. So I'm moving up to here, and as I'm moving up, I'm kind of thinking of what I know about them. Gosh, I have no idea I'm gonna go ahead and expend an effort, just because I want to make sure that I succeed. Ooh, frick, man, I rolled a 3, so I had a 2.
You got a difficulty 2, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that succeeds.
Okay, thank goodness. And I have an edge.
And you're trying to learn information about them.
Yeah, I mean, so recognizing them, knowing weakness, habits, behavior. I guess specifically that, like, maybe as I'm walking up, I hear him say that, like, we will feast together. And specifically, I want to know, like, are they going to try to get us to eat, like, the flesh of the people that they may be captured? Do they eat humans?
All right, so you know of their behavior that they're kind of like dung beetles, typically, right? So they're like carrion, kind of more carrion creatures that wait for like larger predators to kill a flock of something, and then they kind of show up in the midst and like will scuttle in, and they're scavengers and carrion and whatnot. They're not typically aggressive, but you definitely get the sense that something is kind of like connected them with the Leviathan on a deeper level. They normally eat flesh and not necessarily sentient. It's not like necessarily a cultural thing or whatnot, but they just don't have the guts to do that kind of thing, to attack sentient creatures, because they're just too intelligent for them to pull it off all the time, and they tend to just kind of like slip in and out and steal stuff that is like kind of ripe for the picking, right? They're more opportunistic. But you get this sense that, you know, perhaps a powerful leader or a mysterious omen or something has convinced them to hunt living prey.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know that it's living humans, but they have captured humans from our camp.
And thinking back on what they've already said, you don't get the impression that they're eating the humans, but he said something about giving them onto their demon.
Yeah, I still don't like any of them.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Nope, sir. I didn't like
I
it.
sure don't like that at all.
I mean, I step up and I think to these ones, I'm like, I fear that they plan to feed us those who we've come here to rescue.
That
Kind of like whispering between us.
would be a mistake.
Only one way to find out for sure.
All right, Marin.
Yeah. So.
I'm still winking at you.
Yeah. All seem
Yeah, I tap you.
Yeah. I
Is your character see that person?
am gonna go and see if I can find another entrance into this
Okay.
this cave because
Yeah.
they still haven't seen me. Y'all have seen me, and I'm like we've made contact, and so I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Give me a like an intellect roll, but if you're trained in like perception or searching or something like that.
Perception. I am trained in.
Or anything else that you feel like you can.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that to everyone, if you guys feel like you can come up with two skills that would both relate to the task at hand, you can utilize both of them.
Okay, so I also have following and identifying tracks. Could I maybe use this? Like maybe I'm looking for tracks leading away from some other entrance that.
Yeah, or if there is another
Yeah.
way in, these creatures might know of it, and they would have tracks that would lead them in and out of there.
Okay.
that you could follow.
That seems reasonable. Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be eased twice.
Okay.
It sounds like are you using any effort?
Oh man! Gosh!
No, she's not using effort.
I am definitely not using.
Now that she's rolled.
You do find a few cracks
Okay.
that seem like in a pinch, perhaps a person like army crawling could get through it, but you don't see any hint of like creatures using them.
Okay. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to get to one and.
Okay.
Wriggle through.
And start
Hey,
crawling
what's
through.
up,
Yeah.
Doc?
Doc?
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
We are at the Phrontex lair. Some big, creepy, gaunt humanoids with beetle heads and claws that we have started kind of a negotiation with, though they have captured friends of ours who created the Amber Keep.
And are known to be flesh-eating, and then invited us to dinner.
We don't know who we're having yet.
More to come.
And it's pouring rain. And also they secrete fluids from their glands under their armpits, which is important.
That is very important.
It's crucial.
All right. What? We're back to the top then,
I would.
Are we-
and we can shift out of
Yeah, I was
initiative
gonna
if
say.
we're like.
I would like to do a thing though.
Okay.
So I see our person. Did you go away? Can I still see you or not?
No.
Yeah, I'm gone.
You saw them sneaking around the side.
Shit.
Gross, but all right. That's Numenera. Gross, but all right.
Yeah. But I'm into it too.
Okay.
It's weird.
She's gone.
It was about time for a harpsichord breakdown.
Yeah,
Let's go.
totally.
Nothing is more baroque than rain.
What you thinking, Daniel?
Well, I didn't realize that she had gone out of my sight, so now I don't know what I want to do.
They.
Are obligatory, they then pronoun using.
Mhm.
And all, like we also, I was actually thinking about this earlier this week, that this was the one campaign that we didn't have a they them pronoun.
You'll just have to stick around, Ava.
Person.
Yeah,
So you're moving
I'm
back?
available.
You could just fly in.
Yeah.
Every week,
Anytime.
right?
Anytime anybody wants to sponsor me at this table,
Oh yeah.
feel free. I'll send you my PayPal. Drop it in the links. Just kidding.
But before that, sponsor the stream so that we could get our Foley artist in the closet. Is definitely like it's the first thing on the priority list
Yes.
for sponsorship.
Of course.
If you sponsor Ava, then I'll retire and become a Foley artist.
Yes.
So we can keep our 145 player max. But also achieve our other goal.
Yes.
Numenera.
I guess I'm all right if no one else has anything to just drop out of initiative.
I don't. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm good.
Ready to find out what's for dinner.
You guys accepting the invitation and going inside?
Oh yeah.
Are you sure this is it? No, I'm just kidding. All right, you guys enter.
How did they
the
take away
Phrontex lair.
the dead that was standing outside? Did they like drag it, pick it up, or just leave it? I'm just curious.
They just left it.
They just left it.
Yeah.
It's cold-hearted, man.
I'm surprised it's not for dinner.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking note of that. So if they just left their
Might be
dead
like
out
cannibals.
there, then they don't. They're more of like a hive mind almost.
Maybe.
I have a question for Tox. I would be very friendly and, I mean, contextually, but I would be buddy and come right on up. And
Well, you guys are 1 second. You guys are led into this kind of main chamber in the center here. There's a kind of a clearing in the middle. And then on the kind of outskirts of this, you see kind of bedding and whatnot, much of which looks like kind of standard Amber Gleaner bedding, right? There's a half-eaten Gallon corpse. Gallon is the weird lizard
That's
horses that you guys used to pull the carriages here. And there's like piles of bones that have been kind of gnawed, stacked around near the entrance.
Kind of bones. Miscellaneous.
Yeah, pretty miscellaneous.
His bones. Are they? Do they look fresh, or they look a little bit post-dated?
Yeah, they look pretty fresh. And pretty large. Like you get the impression
Okay.
this is like a stack that's been going since before the Amber Gleaners got here.
There's not a lot of femurs in there.
And coming from like all the different various little branching pathways, you're seeing more of these Phrontex like kind of very curiously staring in your direction.
Same song? Sorry.
And there's no table or anything.
Agreed, Dr. Swagbelly. Humanoid miscellaneous.
Humanoid.
I think the message
Miscellaneous.
we're getting is it would require closer examination.
Yes. Sorry.
Different fights.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
At this distance.
Upon first glance, yeah.
no,
Probably
that's half the fun.
Our rugged Jack who hunts could probably tell. I was like, hunts was not a drill. This is serious.
Yes.
So Tax sits down on a ground mat and then has other Phrontex clear the ground mats away from like near him, so that you guys wouldn't soil them or whatnot, and then gestures that you sit that you sit near him, near it. The place stinks.
Yeah.
Ooh, it
Probably like
stinks like
armpit
what?
butter.
It
Oh,
stinks.
armpit butter.
It does.
Armpit butter.
And kind of like smeared in various different places, almost like cave paintings, like on this crystalline surface. There's various different. Void FG, welcome. Volcanic hearts. I don't know what this is.
I don't know what
Sounds
that was.
delicious.
It does.
Crucial question is, does Phrontex armpit secretion feature in any of the Monte cookbook recipes?
Good question. Though the Phrontex are not in, like they were kind
That's
of
new
true.
addition.
introduced
I mean,
in this.
Void
Yeah,
Effigy is on beyond the cutting edge, so
that's true.
why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Phrontex secrete some kind of like red fluid from their armpits that they use to paint with and knock people out as well.
Paint with? Yeah, I mean they do. That just sounds so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's chloroform graffiti.
Yep. Yep. It's all things to them.
I don't know.
So you guys are in the lair.
So,
And meanwhile, Marin is like army crawling through a crack in the wall.
Yep, just shimmying my way through.
Let's roll a 1, 2, 3. We'll roll a 4-sided die.
to
See
figure
what-
out
see
which-
what-
To see what room you are in.
Okay.
Do you need a 4-sided die?
Oh, I do not. I have a 4.
Death.
Yes.
I go into the ballroom and I come out in the kitchen.
A 4!
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Interesting. Okay.
Got it.
But we didn't say which side of the thing that we were starting from.
Yeah.
when we
I
were
was,
counting your
I was
foot. No,
going left to right, so.
The kid. How is it that the kids at the Heroes Guild always ask like who go? You know, like they oftentimes want to go in the opposite direction. You're like, it's been clockwise
Every
forever.
day.
Literally
And I have to be
forever.
like a clock, and they're like, I don't know what that is.
What is a clock?
I don't know what that is.
What is that noise?
Maybe
Get
that's
out
the
of my
problem.
sight.
I think
that's
it's
the
digital,
problem.
y'all.
Yeah.
How do we relate it to like something that happens on like I don't know Instagram or Facebook? Or, you know, it needs to be like some sort of.
Swipe.
It's like you know
Swiping
on your
right.
on your phone when it does the load symbol or whatever
Oh,
spinning.
yeah.
It's in that direction. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
But is that standardized?
No,
I don't know.
it's not. I'm
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
Something the kids would actually know because they don't know clocks.
Yeah.
Which, if you're wondering what we're talking about, we're talking about the Heroes
The
Guild.
Heroes Guild.
Which is a
Kids don't
after-school
know clocks.
program that we run here in Nashville, teaching kids tabletop role-playing games and heroic morality, ages 6 and up. And we've also been in development with hundreds of hours of playtests with kids, powered by the Apocalypse system, in order to utilize those things in a non-violent, good way.
Yep.
End of pitch. Check it out.
Boom, nailed it.
Check it out. theheroesguild.com.
Good call, Doctor.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
Goes
your right.
to your right.
Yeah.
No, to your left.
Yeah. Whichever.
But yeah, otherwise
Yes.
perfect.
Give it a chance.
As an example.
yeah.
Example, of
Exactly,
course,
yeah.
Of course.
All right, so Marin emerges in a room that has crude drawings in this.
Switch the.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Thank you guys. Crude drawing. It's gonna be this room, and there's crude drawings all over the. I know that's kind of hard to believe because you went pretty far, but.
Oh,
Oh,
Find
-5.
something. Come on.
What's going on with this?
Josh should
wrapped
be
around this.
immune.
I am immune. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Terrain master.
What being
The terrain master.
Perfect terrain master.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's so much risk involved.
You start with a +5, so.
Maybe
so
that's it.
Painted all along the walls of this room, in this red slime, is this massive storm.
I'm sorry. I'm reading the text, the chat. Yeah. Anyway.
Volcanic heart. With the flavor text, it is likely that after volcanic heart is depleted, the surrounding area is a small wasteland of burning slag.
Damn.
To watch out for that.
Yep.
The walls are just intricately painted, like the most beautiful that you've seen thus far in this strange art style, of a massive storm, and you can tell by the scale because they're the Phrontex that you're like think are just kind of blips at first, and then you recognize the different like kind of postures that they're in and whatnot are like this big, and this storm is huge. And then along the back, so you emerge like here, and tucked away in this alcove, you get this feeling of an altar that's been kind of created by stacking chips of this pink crystalline structure that this whole thing's made of. They've stacked them carefully in order to make like kind of these steps, and at the top of it is a robotic creature that looks like this.
Oh man, that's kind of freaky deaky.
Yeah, that is just like inert and sitting there. You guys don't get to see it yet.
Man.
And painted on the wall directly behind it, kind of over the storm
wanna
parts
see
in the space behind it, and there's the same screaming face that you had seen at the Amber Keep.
Okay.
And also your shark.
And you hear the sound of the Phrontex. And there's no Phrontex in this room. You get this kind of sacred feeling about this room.
Okay.
So in a way, you picked the perfect place to emerge.
Yeah, definitely. I am just gonna kind of like, I'm still hanging back. Like, I presume that, like, if I were to come out, like, or I can at least hear the voices that are okay. So I'm gonna stay in this room and kind of listen and see where they go and basically follow after them.
Okay.
Like, that's my plan right now.
Excellent.
You hear echoes down the hallway of me speaking, and I'm asking questions like, do you prefer to be called a beetle or a bug?
Okay.
These are echoing to you, and you're like,
And Tox is like, do you prefer to be called... Wait, what was my voice? Do you prefer to be called Flesh Sack? Or Flesh Box?
you know, I never really thought about it. I like either of those, I think.
What like is it to have so much flesh just sagging about your body?
And I start doing it. I'm like, it's this.
Oh, repulsive!
Start pulling on your elbow.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
They all recoil in fright and the clicking sounds. And then
I'm like dancing with one of them. And they're like,
several of them come out like kind of all obsequious like with like big like leaves that have like kind of dabs of like paste like food that they're like presenting to you. They're just kind of like, I think, like ice cream scoops of like different colored mush.
Great. How appetizing.
Grand delicacy!
I slam down my my staff and it's like, show us your prisoners, our comrades. Where are they?
You want to make a persuasion roll?
Yeah, I will make a persuasion roll. I'm gonna use a little bit of edge. I mean, effort. I'm gonna use one effort. I have an edge.
my foot.
My wife calls me flesh sack.
All right.
How loving.
Yes.
I got a 10. I took it down a notch,
At least it's not a 4.
so I at least got over the
or a
the
3.
3.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's
Or
not.
1.
And you're like, you're wanting to see them.
Yes, I'm in.
Show us our companions.
Yeah, show us
What'd he say?
our companions. Tell us where they are.
I am willing to show companions, but what you call companions are now ours. Such was deal made outside in rain.
I turn and look at whoever was there, and I'm like, what?
There's no deal.
What is this deal that was struck?
It wasn't he. I'm still dancing.
It made a deal with itself. It doesn't really understand what it's saying.
The one holding like the leaf is like quivering, holding like closer towards you guys,
I think I dipped my finger in it.
and taste it.
No, I grab onto your like wrist, right? Yeah. I'm like, do not consume that.
As you hold it up, you see some of like the red gland stuff like
Oh no!
drip down along your finger.
Oh no!
Kelly's just
Were they
raising
trying to put you to
her
sleep?
hands and waiting
That puts you to sleep,
to be
doesn't it?
told upon by the leader.
Something wrong with Flesh Noodle?
So, tell us about your demon god. It sounds really cool.
It is all things. That which shall save us from storm of all ending. Requires much sacrifice.
Where do you sacrifice?
All flesh things.
No, where?
Here.
Right here?
In cave. In Grand Home.
Right here?
No, before sacred demon thing.
Where's the sacred demon thing?
You can't be shown.
What if we want to convert? Serious?
You can make a persuasion check.
Shent just like is just like giving the like roll your eyes with your head.
Using
low. He's
effort. That is an 8 with effort.
Would not understand flesh things. Eyeballs not comprehend.
You said it was everything! That means anything should understand it!
Must click to understand.
Have you accepted the demon thing as your lord and savior?
Yes.
Yes, I have accepted the demon thing.
You've peered upon it.
Yes, I have gazed
Perhaps.
upon it. Yes.
Spoilers, maybe.
Yes.
How do you know that you're worthy of talking to the demon god?
Demon
How do
god
you know
has a
that
wonderful
it's
flesh.
not going to sacrifice you?
I do not talk to it. I just give. Not me to understand its wants,
Alright, I'm gonna...
only to deliver.
I want to look closer at its fancy hat, aka skull,
Skull.
to see if it's purely decorative or if there's something special about it. What role do you want to call that?
I think either perception or like if you've got some kind of
Okay.
monstering identification thing.
I mean, I have creature knowledge and perception.
Okay.
Can I double it up?
Yeah.
That's a 3 with both of those traits. And we're back to the 3 run.
You would guess that it is the skull of a cave gui, which is like a big
Okay.
bat-like creature that they tend to be kind of passive but hard to capture. Perhaps it's a mark of pride for him. Is that helpful?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for a 3, it's downright generous.
wonderful.
It's not a human skull. That's for danger.
Keith, go ahead.
And really quick, because you had, I think, succeeded in your. You had succeeded, right, in your persuasion?
I did, but
Yeah.
I had an 11, and I think
Yeah.
you said I succeeded.
And
Sorry, Randy.
Did you see where it went?
That away.
We're gonna have to stop the stream to find Ada's jump.
I think it might have gone under. Oh, I'm touching it.
Yeah, nailed it!
Can you roll this one? Nice.
yeah, I was just reading their entry earlier today, Void Effigy, and thought they were so cool, especially the cursed one. Maybe there will be something about it on the cover.
I have something I want to do if it's...
Really quick, they bring forward someone from the Amber Gleaners because they promised that they could be seen, but that they belonged to.
Who is our communicator in the party?
They
Not
bring.
me, but I'm talking a lot.
I look to you in anticipation of greatness.
They bring forward to Sala, who is the one who is like was to be the mayor of sorts, like the leader of the Amber
A
Keep.
couple people had a connection to Tasela, right?
I believe so.
Forfax,
Yeah.
Shent,
Oh,
and Kele
sorry.
all had
Okay,
a
yeah.
connection to
Sorry, I thought you
Tasela.
said you were saying this person was with us, but you're saying that's the person they're bringing forward.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't have a good relationship with Sala.
That's
I have a
right.
contentious
You guys
relationship
were
with her.
But in this
rivals.
moment, it is not necessarily.
Oh yeah, I would
all
still
about
rescue
that.
them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're like
I hate you so
tied up.
When you start to like your.
using some kind of like wire cable, like around their wrist that's been just like wrapped, and they look like kind of filthy and bedraggled, but not necessarily like starved or anything like that. Then hope shines into Sala's eyes. See you guys.
So this might be like leading questioning. I feel like it's almost like some, I don't know, it's not reverse psychology, but basically he's saying that
Glamour shot.
they have to deliver like gifts to this god. Sacrifices, right? So I'm basically asking like what sort of sacrifices please your gods, but even more so like would this be a worthy sacrifice to your god? And I'm pointing to Sala, and kind of like doing it in a way that is suggesting that I want to be using like deception here, I think.
Okay.
I guess I'm not trained in deception, but I'll do it anyway. I do want to, before I do that, though, use Demeanor of Command. Cost me 2 points, and for 1 hour, I'm seen as important and with authority. They'll, like, give me time to talk, take me to their leader, which this already is their leader, and I get an asset on a, like, social thing.
Cool.
But I want it to be deception.
Okay.
But I'm coming up and kind of acting like I'm not so disgusted with them.
Maybe if you do this and then shake the hand.
Yes.
And I'm going to use effort, because why not?
Nice.
Boom. Okay, so that cost me 4 to do that. And I rolled a 14, ease twice.
Yeah, that succeeds. And your goal is to...
My goal is, I mean, I'm suspecting that this thing is going to say that they would have loved to have sacrificed Sala to their god, although they are giving it to us instead. And then when it says that, I will know exactly what I'm doing if they're sacrificing our people to their god.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like I'm leading it in kind of in a way that's like, oh, like I bet your god would love if you sacrificed them, right? Acting friendly about it so that if it says yes, right?
Yeah, and Tox says...
also, it's not sharp at all, so...
What isn't sharp?
This creature is not really intelligent or intelligent to language. Yeah.
Tox says, "Why, yes. This one seems leader of your kind would make perfect sacrifice, but seems like every sacrifice no different from other sacrifice. Perhaps trade could be in order. 2 things for 1 thing of flesh."
I'm like, a trade, you say? And I'm like reaching to like act like I'm grabbing out something out of my pouch, and I'm fucking drawing my blade like right at this guy.
Fantastic.
I have my answer, man. These things are evil. We're fighting them. I'm fighting them. I don't know about you guys. I'm basically playing a paladin to remind everybody right now. So yeah, I'm attacking it.
All right.
Paladin's gonna palad.
I'm eased once.
Paddle, maybe?
Paladin's gonna paddle.
Yeah. Just pulls out a ping pong bat.
Yes.
I don't know. I might regret this, but I just want to do it. Also, he's maybe being surprised.
Yeah.
So, okay, I might use twice. If that's the case, I want to use effort to apply to damage, because I think I'm going to hit him.
What is easing it elsewise?
Light weapon.
Okay, yep.
Rolled an 11.
That's
Used
nice.
twice.
Alright. His speed defenses, at least, are at a 4.
I'm at a 5.
Okay, so you do succeed.
Hit. Yeah, so I hit him, and I'm dealing extra damage. So it's a 2 plus whatever the extra damage is from... Perfect. I don't actually know what that is.
3.
3 extra damage, so 5 damage total.
Nice. Alright, so you deliver a sudden and wicked slash underneath its chitinous as it was like kind of presenting its neck in like in kind of like a sign of like negotiation or whatnot, and you're like whoosh, and
That's terrible of me.
and it
Happens.
like greenish blood starts to roll out from it, and it's like It's just shouting in its tongue, and all the rest of them are like the leaf is thrown up in the air, and this goo is like spattered all over the place, and the rest of them are just like scuttling around and freaking out and clicking their claws, and it's just utter chaos.
I know.
In the moment, he does not look. It does not look super great after suffering a 5-point
I'm pissed
wound.
that they can't understand us. Otherwise, we could try to persuade them.
Yeah.
Sacrifices.
Only that one understands us, and we don't know why or how.
Yeah.
Forfax is like, don't care.
Yeah, no. They're not worthy of negotiation.
You guys want to
Forfax's
stick
eyes.
with same initiative or roll a new
Sure.
one?
I'm okay with the same initiative.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so that was like a surprise round unto itself, but
Yeah.
Shent, Kele, and Kilu.
I know what I'm gonna do.
So do I.
Alright, so do I.
Me.
Go
They're
for
all
it.
fighting.
Yep.
I'll go.
So I
guess I should have been more
Sprint.
generous with my miniatures. I'm sorry, guys, to be like that.
It's okay.
But it was established in the narrative.
No, you do your thing. They're all coming out of the woodwork
sprint
now.
to the
I'll say these ones were kind of peeking around the corner,
I sprint to the
but they didn't see you.
Yeah.
the leader who was
hiding.
just like neck slashed. And I'm prying the Numenera
crystal?
from his
Smart.
from its claws.
Excellent.
Oh man.
Switch to the other.
Move your mini up.
Yeah, so mine is actually right in front of this guy as I was attacking him. And where are you? The same guy?
Yeah.
You're moving up to him?
What is this, like a might thing, or is this gonna be?
I think speed or might would make sense in the situation.
I'll use might, and I want to use my for my nat 20 that I never used to.
Yeah,
ease
okay.
it.
It'll be eased on this roll. That's cool.
He seems
Yeah.
pretty distracted.
Shrewd negotiator until then. No, I knew exactly the information I was going for.
I got a 7.
It's a quick interrogation.
Yep.
And it's eased once. Did you use effort?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so twice. Yep. You succeeded. You grabbed hold of this thing. Of the staff that has this kind of crystal at the top and these cables that are just
Yes.
and immediately when you yank it you see that the cables aren't like connected to anything. They were connected to the crystal,
Yeah.
But they're not like, they're just totally loose cables that are dangly and decorative, but it's definitely a cipher.
Do I know what it is?
Give me a give me another understanding Numenera check.
Wish I mess with Numenera ever, you know? It's kind of
Yeah.
not my thing.
If only.
I got a 13.
Nice. It is a gravity detonation cipher.
Whoa. Good thing I've been training in 10G.
All right, Vegeta.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Shent
Doing
or
those push-ups.
or Kilu.
That's right.
For how many episodes?
For at
We
least
saw the
5.
direction that they brought Tasala from, right? I'm gonna book it in that direction.
Yeah, I think it was
Back
from over
here.
that one. Yeah.
Alright. I would use my full
I don't know if...
turn. Yeah, what do I need to do to like slip past these guys?
Move fast obstacle.
Move fast. Oh,
Using muscles.
using muscles, yep.
Yeah, I think a speed check.
Alright.
Difficulty will be their level, so just a 2.
Okay.
So 6
Yeah.
on the dice.
Certainly effort is being applied. That's a 17.
Nice.
Oh, I have edge in this.
All right, you round the corner. Several of them are swiping at you with their clackety claws, and you dodge out of the way and round the corner, and you see Tasala has just been like kind of tied up to. They've got kind of a makeshift thing that they're all tied up to.
Okay, cool. I assume that.
I think it's like a. It's kind of just like a wall or something from the Amber Keep that they broke down, you know, and like knocked some planks out of, and then ran this cable through it. It's really shoddy. And they just connected Tasala back onto it. There is also Nort, who is one of the NPC's brothers.
Is
I believe.
Gind there?
Gend is not there.
Wait, and I had a connection. We worked together previously.
Gen's not there.
Gend isn't there?
Gend is not there.
What about
Viso there?
Viso, Kadri, or Zoyen?
Those people are all came with you guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
gotcha.
right. They were with us.
Gotcha.
Because you were bothering one of them.
Viso, yeah.
Yeah.
He hates me and I'm oblivious to it.
And there
Alright.
there is one of those dudes in here that just attached the. All right, so I guess that's your turn, huh?
Yeah.
Kilu.
He went Shent.
Oh, I'm
is
sorry.
left.
Yep.
I take a step forward. Can I get to this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to move up on this one and take a nice big old crack
Okay.
with my pole arm. That is a heavy pole arm. Sorry, it's the quarterstaff. Sorry.
Difficulty 2 or 3. I'm sorry, because their speed defense is 1 higher.
Yeah. So I am going to use a effort. So that'll be a 3, 4, 5.
I could not find the cipher key.
All right, so that takes it down to a 2.
It is
Oh man.
gravity
I did not hit.
detonation. It's on page 277.
Oh, it's
Just-
under detonation.
Out of curiosity,
Got it.
do you have any edge in
I
mind?
found it.
I do. I took it
I
down.
feel. Okay, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, it seemed
Took
like
it
you
down from a
counted
3 to a 2.
Oh, you did. Okay. I was hearing you do your math out loud, and I didn't catch that step. So
I took it down a notch, 3 to a 2, but I still only rolled a 2.
Damn.
So,
6.
but I am now in position between them and you guys. Which
Yeah.
was my goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you charge forward and swiped, and it actually, like, they move pretty quickly and reflexively, and they're kind of strange scuttling.
Or is
way.
is it like their armor?
Yeah, they don't really have like they have
I guess they
chitinous
could also
shell,
have
but they're
armor.
like they're not actually thick enough to really be armor.
Gotcha.
In the way that bugs are just like, you know.
It's just keeping all the goo inside
Yeah.
It's just
and in place.
That's what this flesh sack does for me too.
Yeah, totally. That's everybody on the top initiative, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Why don't you go ahead, Ava?
Okay.
Because I got to kind of kick off the round with the.
Oh well,
with the
let me
G-
go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, let's just skip.
Just skip the GM. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead, Ava? It's
Yeah,
cool.
great, thank you.
It's
Thank
cool.
you
Keith
so
won't
much,
mind it
Josh.
all.
Wonderful.
Give me a perception roll, Ava.
Okay. Oh, 3.
3. Well,
Oh,
are you trained in perception?
I am trained in perception.
Well, then never mind. You don't know what it is that's sneaking up behind you right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Essentially.
It's a demon god.
Yes.
You hear
God's here.
you hear coming from this room the sound of like a lot of chains rattling, and kind of a frantic sound of Phrontex like messing with chains. Meanwhile, we got the gang of 6 thing happening here. If you guys recall, they all attack us.
Oh no. -1.
-1. All right, so I think actually just these 2 were close enough to. These guys are not actually going to contribute on this round. So Forfax and Kelu, give me speed defenses. Difficulty 2.
Piece of cake. Damn it, man! I even have an asset, so I only need a 3.
All right, you take 4 damage.
So stupid, man.
I got 11.
Well, I only take 2 damage, fortunately.
Cool. All right, so they're just scuttling towards you guys with their claws and slashing, and Forfax, you get like a gash across your arm, and Kele manages to duck out of the way. Shent, however,
Whoa, look at that.
give me 2.
Oh my god.
Isn't that
2 speed
Things
defenses.
changed a little bit.
Yeah.
They definitely did. 2 speed defense.
Uh-huh.
You guys. Two different checks, right? Okay.
Yeah, difficulty 2.
Okay. 10. So yes. And 16.
Okay. They're running at you with their
So-
claws, and you're just like ducking and weaving.
Shent's being a badass. He's about to do a roundhouse with that.
Yup. Can't wait for it.
The ceiling of the crystal has like started leaking water in various different places because it's pouring rain outside so bad. You hear the clash of thunder.
I was gonna say, is it raining inside the cave as well?
It's dripping.
Question answered.
No.
It's basically raining inside the cave.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's sprinkling.
Not mechanically. Forfax and Marin.
Okay. Cool. So. Tell me I hear chains this way, but y'all need help. So I am gonna. Well, I need to like just expend my full action to like run to like.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Can I so I can attack this round as well?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I am going to attack with my broadsword, which is poison lace
Yes.
currently. Let's see. And a
Nat 20!
Whoa!
She who crits!
has shown up to the party.
There she is. She who
That's
crits.
right.
So you can get a major effect, which could be easing your next roll, or you can take basically another action.
I'm gonna go for the guy. I'm like basically gonna cleave through this one dude
Yes.
and then go for
This
the one.
this one is cleaved in twain.
Nice.
Beetle
Whoa.
parts are scattered about the room.
Twain.
In twain.
Little beetles come out.
Alright. And a 2 to just to round out.
yep.
You know, that's fine.
Yeah, that does not hit
Yeah, that's fair.
unless you're expending effort or anything.
I
like
will
that.
not be expending effort. That's fine.
All right,
I already got one of them. So
excellent. First blood.
first.
Forfax.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to use effort to try to deal damage
Start
this
the hashtag Forfax to the floor.
to the forefront. Hey, nice. Well, I'm also eased, so I had a 4 result.
Okay,
So I do
that
2
does
damage.
succeed. 2 damage. Tox is cowering, has dropped down and is like trying to scuttle away in this direction, but is just like utterly like self-preservation mode. You were attacking it, right?
Yeah, I
assume,
was.
yeah.
I think Forfax is also like, where's your demon god now?
Oh my
Yo,
god.
yes! If we don't sacrifice him, I'll be disappointed in everything.
You guys are so cruel.
Hey, he said they like leaders.
Man, I mean, so far we've faced a bunch of, what do they call them? Like, not abhumans?
Abhumans,
And,
yeah.
like, the order that I'm with is against abhumans and
Yeah,
for
true.
humanity. So I'm like, I feel like Forfax is just a monster so far, but that's what we've been up against.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Back up to the top with Shent, Kele, and Kele.
So is this guy Dunzo? Or he's still running?
He's like retreating, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's not dead, but he does not look like he's gonna fight.
Did anybody? I just want to make sure that I didn't write this down on behalf of the group, and that I do specifically have this. Does anybody else have note of where the memory collector is?
Ooh, who has the memory collector?
Shag's
Shag does, okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to redistribute it then. To somebody else at some point.
I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, for plot purposes, you
Yeah.
have the memory extractor.
I want to try to use it on this creature.
On Tox?
No, on the guard that's in here.
Oh, okay.
To remove memory memories of the demon god, so that hopefully would revert back into like carrion mode. Like, I'm not gonna mess with you.
Okay, cool. Go for it. Give me a
those memories out.
double check how this works, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna do a speed.
Okay.
They found an artifact in a previous session that there were some memory thieves in town that were stealing people's memories in order to, like, they're stealing memories of like combination locks and like the most precious thing a person owns, so that they could come back and steal that. And so
There is no demon god, Dr. Swagbelly. It's all a lie.
Definitely using effort. 18.
nice.
Yeah.
Define in a short sentence the nature of the memory you want to remove, such as, quote, anything you know about automatons, or everything that happened over the last minute, or even your name, or
Anything
how to
about
speak.
demon gods.
Quote, the demon god, end quote.
Yes.
About the demon god.
The demon god.
You reach out,
Yeah.
and touch it as it's like turning its beetly head towards you. Grab hold of it, and it quivers for a moment and slumps to the ground as you recall this functioning, and then with a loud grinding sound, a synth pellet pops out of the side of the claw.
Ooh,
of
cool.
the
We get
glove.
to see its memories of the demon god.
Oh man, are you gonna eat that shit
Awesome.
right now?
Oh, not right now. I've got to be frosty.
As you, if you recall, whenever you guys touch it, you get a glimpse
Oh,
of
yeah.
the memory.
I feel like
But when you like ingest it, then it's like a permanent part. Like all,
So I
all
guess
of the
I
full
get-
knowledge, you just get like a flash as you're handling it with your free hand that does not
Yeah.
have a glove on for plot purposes.
Yeah.
But as it touches your flesh, you see
I have an idea.
a moment of Gend kneeling before what we described earlier, this automaton,
Gosh darn
and
it.
a blast of brilliant light shining forth, and think like 80s special effects where like the light hits him and then wraps around him,
Yeah.
and then he's just like not there anymore as the light retracts.
I'm like classic Doctor Who. level
Yes.
effect.
No! I mean, I know I don't know this, but Gend is my friend.
And is just gone. Yeah, and then all the for a second you see all the other the Frontex like rejoicing.
Yes.
Who was it that got sucked in?
Someone who was
The
a
guy with mechanical,
Yeah.
mechanical eyes that I worked on.
There was a delve with mech eyes. Yeah, that's all I have.
But I don't know anything about Numenera.
You can fix it.
Not gonna
Make
let it go.
Did you have a connection with him too?
No.
Oh, you just knew about him.
All right, so that was everybody on the, or did you go yet, Daniel?
No.
No.
I think that.
was
Yeah,
just
it
you.
was just yeah.
Oh, okay.
it was only-
That was everybody, and Daniel's in the top group.
Yeah. I went first.
Yeah,
I didn't get shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Neither
we haven't gone yet.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know what you're doing?
Can you remind me ranges? What is immediate?
Within like 10 feet.
I think like you guys are in immediate range of this stuff. These creatures. Is that helpful?
Yes. I step this way and I rip this ball from atop the staff.
The staff. Yes.
And I like am holding it up really high, like really threateningly.
Yes.
Just like and of course I'm like
Ooh, give me a
Holding a thermal detonator.
exactly.
Yeah. That thing's active. Give me a intimidation check, and I'm going to take into account some easing of it.
Would I be able to do anything simultaneously when?
Are you trying to like aid this effort?
In
or-
a sense, yes. Because what I was gonna do is a similar intimidation, but on their leader who's cowering, and I was going to kind of like pin him up against the wall with the foot and like put the pole in front of his face and yell an intimidation as well to him, like, call him off.
So here's some options. You could make that intimidation against that dude and roll separately.
Okay.
You could also, are you trained in intimidation? You can aid him by giving up your turn, and then it would ease his by one step, or like the two options, right? You can like contribute, like, you know, aiding him, or you could do your own thing.
Aid by way of asset.
Yeah, and if you are of equal training in the thing that you're aiding, then it eases it twice.
Yeah,
like if you're.
I'll let him play his thing out.
Are you going to aid me or
no? I'm not going to aid you.
Okay.
Because because of the way the mechanics work, what I'm doing could be as like a backup plan.
Yeah, and it's affecting someone separately too.
Yeah, mine's very specific.
Okay, so is this an intellect roll?
Yeah.
Excellent. I will use effort.
All right.
E for effort.
Is that
13.
Like, oh god.
Nice.
Okay, good.
All right, so you hold this thing up, and the kind of like danger and power of it
Yes.
in your hand, you like in the way that like we as people in the 20th century when we handle like a handgun feel like kind of the gravitas of the situation, right? You're holding this up and you're like a little bit like your heart is pounding, your breath is heaving, you're really nervous like not to drop this thing.
I know what it is, but I don't actually know
You certainly don't
what its
keyword
effects.
understand it.
That is for certain.
Yes. But you hold the thing up and threateningly wield it before these Phrontex, and they're all like, and this group is like, this whole group is like pacified, right? They're all just like terrified and kind of like backing away. Like they all know, they've seen like the kind of like ciphers that their leader like claims, because he's more intelligent than them, have like annihilated them before when they've misbehaved or something. So you sense this fear in them. Awesome.
Turns on the gravity well of his own. and
Get lost.
Pushes it.
The description of this thing is amazing too. Shall I read it?
Yeah, the Freddie Mercury pose. Perfect.
Yes.
Explosive device or ceramic sphere bursts in an immediate radius, inflicting damage equal to the cipher level by increasing gravity tremendously for 1 second. All in the area are crushed to the ground for 1 round and cannot take physical attacks.
Dang.
So it's like suddenly, like gravity is just like so much that it's just pressing you into the earth.
Excellent. And Randy, go ahead and do your intimidation.
Yeah, so I turn towards the one that's groveling into the wall,
Okay.
and I take this momentary pause on their part to get in and push his chest, pin him into the wall with a kick him into the wall with the foot, and then I plant up with my.
So basically, you and Josh's character basically have sworded this thing's neck.
With the quarterstaff, and I bring it.
Awesome.
Bring the quarterstaff back in a ready position, and I say, "Call them off."
Excellent. Give me an intimidation. And I think it is eased due to the situation. Due to the fact that he's dying.
Well, I'm gonna ease it just to hopefully make it almost impossible. But
Okay.
All right, 11.
Nice.
Yes. It's looking up at you with its glistening beetle-like eyes, and then it goes, and all of them kind of start to shift back, and they're all like talking among themselves, and in the silence of the moment, you hear a GM. I'm gonna just do a GM intrusion because so you go to an XP, Randy, and you can pass it. You hear a booming voice from deep within the cave. Grow contest!
Oh god.
And all of them like freeze, and these ones that are like by the door just bolt out the door.
What did this
in
thing
fear.
say?
Grow contest!
What does that mean?
Your player and character understand the same thing.
It
Whatever
always
you understand as a player.
Ontus
your character
always
understands.
sounds huge, right?
And then the
Anthus
thump,
or Bad news.
the thump of and each one between each thump there is the sound of like chains being dragged across the ground. And emerging from around the corner is a Phrontex that has many limbs and is like some 9 feet tall, right? And seems to be like of some kind of like just other taxonomy altogether.
I do have a good mini limb.
In this moment, am I able to use the XP that you gave me or something like that to just be like, fucking, you swap and just like do the swing?
Well, you can pay an XP rather than getting an XP. You can pay an XP and be like, I don't want that GM intrusion to happen.
No, I'm just like playing the moment of like, I don't know what you said, but that giant monster showed up. You failed. I'm gonna swing at your head right now.
Well, you already made an intimidate.
I can
so,
wait until
yeah.
I can wait till next turn.
The chains, the sound of the chains, as
Are these guys
Groguntus,
bolting?
a 9-foot tall Phrontex with 4 limbs.
Groguntus?
Groguntus.
Oh, what a great
These
name.
guys fleed, right?
Yes.
All these ones.
I don't know if that guy had, because that was the boss that we were. I mean, he was in that group. Keith had slid him over there, but
that was actually-
did you mean
I did that on accident? He was supposed to be going that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the one that we have driven against the wall.
Yeah, those ones were like already scared, and then the sound of this thing, they're like, you get the impression that they heard the sound and looked and saw that this thing was not like attached to chains anymore, and they were like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, their armpit juice started flowing.
Oh, yeah. And this guy probably is just like gushing off of it.
the
in all
leader
directions.
even looks like frantic. Like he basically gave this order a minute ago, and they were executing. That was the sound of the chains rattling and stuff. He was like, unlock Groguntus, and they went and did it. And then when he was like shouting his orders, it was already done.
Oh shoot! Curse this man.
Thanks for tuning in.
Good night,
See you,
Doc.
Doc.
Thanks for joining us.
Groguntus.
Beloved flesh sack.
That was me. Or that was Randy. I did
That was,
GM intrusion.
Yes, Shent. And I'm gonna give you the XP.
Oh yeah! Thank you.
Because you
Disarmed.
paused at the moment.
That's awesome. Thank you. I sure do love XP.
Groguntus leaps forward and slays these two in its wild abandon.
Wow.
Excellent.
It is like a cleaving like claws that it takes hold of both of them and crushes them, and then just kind of like is ragdolling them around while the other two are like moving
I
towards.
love those moments in like movies and stories when like something epic comes in and just kills the insignificant. Like I don't need you around. Life is so worthless. Sucks.
Yeah. The leader is also fleeing. He's just kind of just past the door.
These two both had their swords to its neck.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you guys.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know.
I'll give you-
now that Groguntus is here, I don't know if what I wanted to do will work with him.
I think a roll to similar to like the guarding. I think it's guarding action. Yeah. You can attempt a speed
Stop someone
task.
from moving.
A speed task at a -1 difficulty to prevent them from getting past you. I think would make sense. So yeah, give me a speed defense, and I'll take into account that it is going to be harder.
Alright, I'm not gonna spend effort for it, I'll just try it.
Oh, come on, man. Did you see that? The way that did
Yes.
that? That was cheap.
I think
I didn't
Randy, you
can do it too. Give me a speed defense to try and keep him from running.
Okay.
There it is.
14.
Okay, that succeeds. So he starts to move away, and then you just like kind of put your quarterstaff like in such a way
Yeah.
that it kind of pins him in place.
I
and he
put it
just
against
stops.
the wall on the other side of his head, and he's like, bonk. Like,
Yeah. He get his pincers
Keith,
out.
switch off that camera for a second, and then I'll move this up.
Right.
Awesome. I didn't want him going anywhere.
I think these are fleeing.
Yeah, because they just
this
saw their
room.
companion destroy 2 of them outright.
This dude's unconscious. And
That's right. You
Yeah.
go unconscious after that happens.
Mm-hmm.
That was an excellent use.
Yeah, totally.
And she got info dropped on
Forfax and Marin.
Okay.
Demon God shit.
Well, he kind of jumped right over me. Which.
Oh, I actually didn't see you there.
Yeah.
Right, you were stealthed out.
Because I was stealthed out. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
Totally.
So,
Stealth at you.
yep. So you just
Yeah.
like left right past me.
Totally.
So I don't want to piss this guy off, but
Do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and utilize create deadly poison again before I engage.
Okay.
I'm going to resheathe my blade in more poison.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Yeah.
What did the poison? Well, you killed the thing before, but
Yes, it deals 5 points of damage to a level 1 or 2 creature. I can expend. If I use a level of effort, the poison affects up to a level 3 creature.
I will say that this is higher than that.
Okay.
It's a 4.
Well, in that case, then
It's
I
weird that the
won't
poison
do that.
Keith has a cap on that.
Yeah, you would think.
It might like go up as.
Yeah,
as you
I
get
have to get more abilities.
effort. Yeah, like it
Oh,
probably.
that's an
this is
ability.
Yeah, and this is like a pre-gen character
Yeah.
for like a level 1
Gotcha.
scenario. So probably in the rule book it says something like, you know, at further expensive effort it'll do, you know, higher level creatures.
Yeah. So in that case, I won't do that. And oh, what the heck? Well, yes. Just gonna attack. Fate.
Effort.
Stab him in the pits.
Yes.
Stab him in the pits.
I'm gonna stab him right in his
How many pits does this thing have?
his
Yeah,
glands.
and he has 4, and all of them,
Steve.
all of them are just like dripping.
Oh,
Like it's
he's turned
it's
off.
very fertile,
He's
and it's
excited about this fight.
excellent. Void effigy with the rules in here.
Nice. Thanks, Void FG.
In addition to the normal options for using effort, you can choose to use effort to increase the level of the poison. Each level of effort used in this way increases the poison level by 1. If
So
Yeah.
as you level up and get more effort, you can give it to increase to higher level.
Yeah.
creatures.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I certainly only have 1 effort at this time,
Yeah.
so I could not have expended enough to get it to it. But I rolled a 16, and
Excellent.
I did expend effort. So that I believe hits.
it does.
By the way, you can expend effort on attacks to either increase, like lower the to hit,
Or increase
or
damage.
increase it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
I heard that earlier.
Nice.
But it's a good reminder. Thank you. Well, I deal 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay.
Right in the pit.
Ooh, now your sword's wet.
Oh God, yes!
It says its name. It's like
Yeah.
Pokemon.
That's all it's capable of,
Yeah.
which in some ways is more intelligent than the others, but it actually can't speak even in their language. It just says Gargantus in the language of truth for some reason.
Weird. Hodor.
Yep.
Hodor.
Oh, Hodor.
Hold the door.
Did you go, Josh? I don't think you did.
No, I didn't yet. Honestly, I'm thinking about trying to adjure this creature.
Intense.
I don't know that it will work, but I think I'm gonna try it anyway, just because that's my thing.
Cool.
So it costs 2 intellect points plus 2 more intellect points because it's a level 4 creature.
Okay.
That hungers for flesh, so yeah. Commanding it to do simple tasks. So the only thing is that I couldn't figure out any simple task that I wanted it to do, other than that if these guys hadn't ran away yet, I want to command it to attack them instead. And I mean, narratively, just whatever. Mainly, I want to be taking control of this monster so that it's not attacking my friends.
Yeah, I think that's
there's
cool,
nothing
attacking
unless
them.
I'm like it's attacking itself. I don't know what else it's doing.
Ooh.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna cost me 4 points, and I'm gonna go ahead and use effort too. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Whoa. That is
4,
very
5,
nice.
6. Well, this is the boss, or
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for
This
tonight.
is a big use of the.
Yes!
Yes!
Roll a 16.
Nice.
Awesome. Hilariously enough, all mental tasks are a level lower.
Yeah. Gargantus.
Yeah.
Whatever. So you definitely
Hilarious.
succeed. And indeed, what does it look like as you do this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm stepping back, and it's maybe like preparing to swing at us. We're standing here and it's coming up and like charging us, and I'm turning and kind of like force hand sort of a thing of like grabbing onto it, and I think like its arm, it's like reeling back, and then I do like I visibly like I'm like that, and its arm is just like and just smashes these two guys into the other room. Like it looks like I kind of grabbed onto its arm like a puppet and was just like over there instead.
Yes. And so yeah, they're hurled aside, and with its lower arms that it's taken hold of the other two, it like a child is just smashing.
The shells and jam are just going all over the walls and our faces.
Yes.
It's crunchy.
It has just given into the Leviathan altogether. All right, back up to the top.
Well, I want to try to free our prisoners while I have a moment.
Okay.
While you have a moment, there's shit happening everywhere.
Hey. They don't
There's
know
a
I'm here.
yeah, poop storm.
Just gonna
Yeah,
tune
you don't
out
have
the
to roll.
Groguntus sound.
That sounds terrible.
I think you can do something else too.
Okay, are either of them injured?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well,
Praise the gods. Praise the gods, you're here.
what am I hearing in the other room?
This is the first we've seen it, but we've heard its grumblings.
Oh, we've got one of our companions out here too, right?
Yeah.
No, they brought it back in here.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I'm gonna be like, well, we better get the heck back out there, y'all. They probably don't have any arms, however.
Weapons?
correct?
No.
Yeah.
They would be
No,
further
just
in. Oh, no arms.
None of them. None of them have
I do mean
arms.
weapons.
Oh, I forgot to add that detail. They're
They
also
don't-
all
yeah.
armless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Their arms have been
That's what they've been sacrificing to the demon god.
Just the arms. One at a time. One at
That's
a
why
time.
Groguntus has so many arms.
Yeah.
Right.
It's complicated.
Oh well, nothing I can do for them in that. I'm not armed to the teeth, and I don't have surplus arms, so.
Well, peeking around the corner, you're seeing
Yeah.
Groguntus is attacking these. You guys don't have the connection. You have the connection with Randy.
Yep.
Yeah, you're just seeing Groguntus like weirdly like going after its own kind.
Do the Phrontex carry anything?
They carry spears. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sure Norit can grab his spear. Yeah, I guess.
Just
I'll
get in there,
check
Nort.
that out. I guess I could do creature knowledge to see if I can discern anything helpful about Groguntus.
Okay. Sure.
I like to roll for a helpful detail.
Okay. And roll. Learn something helpful.
Or a clue. Or a weakness. No effort, I think. I'm a little spooked. That's a 6 trained.
Yeah, you get the impression that this thing is incapable of following any kind of orders.
Alright.
It is just like a complete savage monster, but it's like part of their bloodline, so to speak, and so they keep it as kind of a useful thing. That maybe is already clear.
No, I think that's good.
Um,
Basically what I glean from that is, kill the beast.
Yeah, or you can definitely escape it at this point,
Yeah.
too.
We've got what we came for, but I did get that teaser of weird tech, which I think it would be hard for a elf to walk away from.
Teaser of weird tech.
The automaton.
Yeah, you
and the
saw it.
memory.
Tech teaser.
All right.
I'm ready to go.
You ready?
Go ahead.
So I think once again,
What are the freed prisoners? Are you telling them to try and escape?
We gotta get rid of this thing.
The Groguntus?
Yeah.
All right. Nort has readied the spear and run out and is providing an asset to any attacks against it with his turn. He's like running around like.
Well, so as this thing jumped and then stopped right in front of me, I probably got close to pissing myself. And I've been holding this thing, right? So I'm imagining as soon as it stopped and started beating its companions together, again I slumped to my knees and the orb just drops from my hand and rolls toward Gorguntus.
Yes. Give me a roll, an attack roll. Speed. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The range on that orb.
Yeah.
It's immediate, so it's only in a 5 to 10 foot radius.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I really just have to get close, right? I don't have to hit him.
Great, we can use those arms.
Okay, so I will use effort on this.
All right.
Does inability at understanding Numenera help me at all?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
No, it doesn't
I was
hinder you.
being
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You're like, I know that this thing blows up.
I got an 8.
An 8? That is not gonna succeed.
Really? Even though he's not moving?
Do detonation.
You have to hit them with a detonation roll?
Do they do any kind of damage if you miss?
Well, so what I was imagining is,
What do you think,
I just
Void
have to
Effigy?
get-
Detonation devices? He missed on his attack roll. Does it still deal some damage or
I feel
something?
like they do, but I'm not
Splash damage?
positive. Yeah.
Oh well, if I'm missing,
half
we
damage?
don't have to deal with it. I will spend
At least 2 points if it misses.
I will
Cool.
spend XP to make sure this hits.
Thank you, Void
Okay.
Effigy.
Yeah, absolutely.
The rule master.
Also, no
gonna-
one is seeing the cat
Is
that's
there
playing fetch
a-
right now, and it's really a shame that you can't see that. But I get a really good view of
Maybe
it.
on the break.
Cool.
Is there a
Thanks, Void Effigy. The rule master himself.
like a
Love it.
is there like a is it a straight reroll? That's all you get. There's no additional boost or anything like that. It seems pointless to reroll this, doesn't it? I got an 8.
It's a little below average, but
That seems
Reroll die and
Still
keep your
pretty
choice is what
good.
Void Effigy is saying to do.
and keep your choice. Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I've already
The better
missed.
of the two.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
That way, if you roll a 1 on the second one, you can keep the
That's
better.
the spending an XP to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That is a good distinction, though. to
Yeah,
know.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that either.
Fuck, this seems
Yeah.
dumb. I can't believe I missed.
It makes
Alright,
sense,
whatever.
especially because you're spending XP for it.
oh,
Nat 20!
Off the GM's arm. Is that the trick we've been missing this whole session?
Yes.
I need to be bouncing it off a GM.
It's a good thing you've been practicing.
I knew it was coming, Danny. I told y'all. I just had to slap it.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, I almost hit you in the eye.
Also, on nat 20s, you get back any effort cost that you spent.
Oh right. God, I forgot about that too.
Yeah. Okay, so
So effort, not experience.
Yeah.
Okay, it was still worth it for the experience. That was radical.
So this orb drops out of your hand, rolls across the ground, and then it unfurls in a couple of legs and like kind of like stabilizes itself for a second underneath Groguntus as he's like doing this thing, and then all of a sudden it activates, and it's that I'm picturing it as that graphic of like kind of
The lines?
rippling, like
Yeah.
it's like clear. There's no like necessarily like a lot like visual like explosion or anything like that. It's just kind of like a rippling of the air, and it just like drops to the ground, and then just like a bug being crushed, just like, and it just like splatters all over you guys, right?
oh no!
I'm right in the splash zone. Come on.
Oh, you totally
I'm
are.
in the splash zone.
As it is just like it is just like a crumpled like shell
I really,
on the
just so
ground.
y'all know, I really wanted this to be a moment where Keely like didn't know what he was doing. Was like had like accidentally let
Accidentally
go.
dropped
Like,
it.
so-
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
so stunned, like was like.
It was an accident.
I feel like Keely's greatest moments are when he's there's the least
You're
amount of
least helpful.
intention behind it.
Yes.
Minimal intention, maximum effect.
Yes.
All right, the Phrontex lair is quickly vacated by those that remain. Have scuttled through the cracks that were previously found and have escaped out of fear of the flesh sacks that have destroyed their leader and Groguntus, the great and ever feared beast.
Yes.
Did we
It's a pile of
kill
jam.
the leader yet, or is it dying? Or
He's still alive.
Oh right, yeah,
Yeah.
he's
I
just
thought so.
cowering.
And he's right here in front of us.
yeah, I kind of have him like sort of pinned, not like physically pinned, but
Awesome.
Just backed into it.
yeah, I had to pull my quarterstaff is like against the wall, and I'm standing in front of him.
You guys asking him any questions or?
I tell him that his demon god is a lie, and that man are the new gods of the ninth world.
You might think yourself mighty now, but when the storm of all ending comes, you will be swept away like so many flesh things.
Nice. So perhaps you would like to be
flesh things.
I was going for something clever, but I was thinking in the moment of like
So many
Skin.
flashlights.
like peeled skin, but I couldn't
I
get it out.
loved it because it was like turning the you'd be swept away with like so many insects on its head. You did a reversal. I
Yes.
thought it was intentional.
It was brilliant. Flesh things.
Flesh things.
Plus,
How
flesh
would you?
shavings.
I tell him that. How would you like to be the next sacrifice? And I like grab his leg and start dragging him toward the back. I drag him through the like flowing nasty that is his monster's beast.
Yes.
The remains of Groguntus drug through.
Waving my memories.
So you're saying that you're literally mopping the floor with this guy?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening here?
Yes.
Kaylee,
Sort of, because they're kind of like shelled, you know. But
Yeah, it's just spreading it around.
That's disgusting.
Kaylee steps out with
It's
the
more like sweet.
Yeah,
memory
I guess
capsule.
I'm gonna. Forfax is the person I would immediately want to hand it to.
Hand
Have
what
a
to?
look at this demon god. It's the memory palette
Oh,
for your
yeah.
touch.
I'm yelling at, where is this demon god?
Yeah, I'll eat it. Sure. That's what you do, right? Is you eat the pellet? Yeah, Forfax takes it.
All right, you see the flash of the vision of Gend being blasted by this laser eye from this automaton, and you also get the sense of the like kind of button combinations and what like there's like push these two buttons.
Levers on the automaton.
Yeah, it's not even automated.
Then I get the sense that thing is in this cavern somewhere.
Yeah, it's in this. You know like exactly where it's at. And,
Okay.
And you also know that it is a random thing that happens when it's activated. Sometimes people are gone forever, and sometimes everyone is blessed. Well, actually, I think every time someone is... Yeah, every time the person is sacrificed, then the blessing that it gives is always different. Sorry.
Yeah, and it always gives
remember
something
exactly.
actually benevolent, right? Like it's actually a blessing. Not always. Sometimes it's a curse. Okay, yeah. Hilarious.
Are you explaining this to us?
Yeah. So like my eyes like come back to, and I explain that to you guys that the thing they call a god resides around the corner in this very cavern, and it. When they sacrifice to it, it does sometimes confer benefits to them, but also curses at times. They do not understand it. They simply know how to press the on button.
Shall we test it? Or should...
I turn to you. I want to like be stepped a little bit away from this guy as we're talking, but I just want to say I do not trust this one's words. For I do not think it has good control of command or command of language or understanding of language, but their memories seem to show true. And this storm that it talks about, I wonder if there's any truth to it. These things have lived in the desert much longer than we have.
Kelly just nods and then steps up to talks with the memory collector and is going to search Epic Storm.
Great Storm, or what was it called?
Oh, Storm of All Ending.
Storm of All Ending.
Oh, but...
What do we got?
Yes. All right. So the memory pellet produced when you touch it, it has it is not truly a memory at all, but it is a tale that like a shaman of their hive or whatnot is telling as it is standing in this room.
Cool.
And is pointing at like the different kind of moments in time, and it's telling this tale of every few aeons, though they're using some other kind of word for it, right? For like the span of hundreds of generations, this like cycle returns, and this great storm destroys everything. And so it's best to feed this demon in order to appease the storm and to keep it placated and to keep it back. It kind of like resets the cycle in a small way every time that someone's sacrificed. So does that?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I guess there's no way to connect it to anything else, but I don't know if yeah. We know that there have been other ages, right? We call this do we call this the ninth age?
yeah.
I am just immediately making the jump that this like great storm could potentially be what causes the downfall of civilizations, right? But I also don't have any reason to think this is
Still.
now
Yeah.
Should we
or anytime soon.
test the sacrifice?
Absolutely not.
We should certainly take a closer look at it.
Yeah, that part is for sure. Is Relay or Relay's counterpart still available to us? Even though Relay's
Where's Radius?
on Radius. That was the
Radius is
person.
defending the
Okay, that's right. We left.
keep.
Yeah. Well,
No, we might have to get a new Nano to jump in, but
let's take a look.
yeah, I guess we could use his role though. It would be fair.
Yeah, we don't have to.
He didn't. Yeah. You guys are
As
trying
long
to
as somebody
understand.
can like take
Understand
a peek at
what?
it.
The painting?
I think the Numenera of the
Oh.
of this.
The boss.
Yeah.
Well,
You guys
Yeah,
probably already get the
automaton.
impression, but it's not a demon at all. But it's
yeah, I don't
robot.
necessarily need to understand it. I just need to know if I can pry it out of the wall and carry
You,
it
you,
back
can,
to
you definitely get the
Radius.
feeling that it can be pried out of the wall and brought back.
Well, let's
it is like
salvage it.
it is literally just a machine that they just like put on this pedestal.
Does anybody object to that?
It seems
Crowbar is coming out.
Not really.
As long as whatever-
Certainly not if it can be salvaged and turned into something useful.
Yeah.
and even upon like further inspection, you can tell like it has these little. And this is what it looks like. It's kind of spider-like with this little eyeball on top.
Ooh.
And it seems like almost entirely inert, except for the eye stalk part. Is like there's some flashing lights going on there, but the legs,
webcam.
Yeah, the webcam part. It does look like a webcam. The legs of
The old
it
Logitech.
are like
Yes.
have been bound with some of this, like some of their they use their goo for everything, right? So they've dried the goo and have
God,
like
it's also adhesive?
yeah, it's in everything, right?
They mix it with stuff and then it creates other things.
It's
God, man,
it's not
that
able
stuff.
to. It's not even like standing
You
on
can
its
bottle
own.
that
Right?
up and
They've,
sell
like,
it. Multi-purpose.
Yeah.
You guys start the
Prank your friends.
the Phrontex goo laboratory.
Frontex
Yes.
jam.
Frontex jam.
Get your Phrontex.
The glandular paste.
Pros.
It heals what ails ya.
Forfax is Frontex.
Yes.
It's like you make it into some poisonous pomade. People are rubbing it in their hair.
Yes.
Your hair will stay for days.
You're prying it free.
Yeah.
Are you trying to salvage it, or are you just like picking it up?
Salvage. I'm salvaging it.
Yeah, you're taking it apart in order to get pieces from it. I just want to be clear. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever you do not hit those two buttons in sequence.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, we'll see. All right, now I have the nice guys that can eat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's. Yeah.
that was ridiculous.
That's a 15, and I am specialized in salvaging.
Nice. I have my.
It's also kind of funny how I was like,
Yeah, that definitely needs to be turned into a clip.
It's like a volleyball save.
yeah. Totally. Nice dive. Way to lay out for that one.
All right, you succeeded. Give me a. Are you trying to? What are you trying to extract from it? Are you looking for anything, any item, ciphers, or a specific item?
Anything.
Anything? Give me a D6 roll.
It's Odom.
Ooh. 3.
A 3. You got a D10 shins. So you can roll a D10 for that. That's your cash.
Oh, we found some cash in there. Awesome. This is where they were storing all their money.
Yes.
2.
Okay, 2 shins, and then a. You can have either a roll on the item result table or a D6 of ciphers.
Does anybody have room to carry another cipher?
I always have room.
I do.
Not.
All right, let's get some
I do not.
ciphers.
Okay.
That's a 4.
4. Dang. Okay.
Fair.
Oop.
1 6
Okay. Well, we can do this off the stream because we're basically getting to the time to
Getting
wrap
the
up.
time.
Remind me that I owe you guys 4 ciphers.
I will. write it
And you
down.
also get 5 parts.
Pumpkin time.
parts.
Parts.
Alrighty.
All right. Everyone receives 1 XP each for ending the abhuman threat. 2 XP for freeing the prisoners and returning survivors to Amber Keep. So you get 3 total XP.
Great.
We are owed 4 ciphers.
You guys return back to the Amber Keep, and Visso is really excited that Nort is alive. They're brothers, so they embrace. Tasala is a little bit injured, but is immediately starting to like give orders to the laborers and is like taking control of the situation, and talking through the plans with Visso, the right, and explaining like what had been started with the walls and what needs to be finished. So they like immediately are kind of going off and doing that. What we will do in so we completed Act 1 of the Amber Keep thread, right? So right at this point, there's like chapters in the other thread. We've done 2, I think, chapters. Maybe just 1. No, we just did the Memory Thieves, right? So we've done 1 chapter in that thread and 1 act in the other, and it kind of goes back and forth. But in this case, we are going to advance the Amber Keep thread next. So next week, we're going to have 2 months of downtime, right? You guys will be able to take long-term actions.
Yeah.
You'll be able to take 2 long-term actions.
Nice.
And I gave you guys the list of different actions that you can take.
Raise 2 children.
Raise 2 children. Done deal. Visso and like all the laborers are going to be working to fix the wall.
Awesome.
And build like the houses. Visso is a right as well, and we'll be like working on building civic infrastructure, and that way you can be like focused on installations and the cool stuff.
Yes.
So you can like look through that at your leisure and have an idea of what 2 tasks will happen, and then some other stuff might come if people were like we'll explore those rules. But if you do like something like, I'm gonna explore to try and find like a new location, one of the options is like find a new like destination for resources or whatever, then that might segue into like a scene in the way that we've been playing normally, and then it'll be like resolve that, jump back into the long term, and finish resolving the long term moves. So as the campaign goes on the Amber Keep side of things, it will tend to be more like long term, like building and expanding the Amber Keep.
Awesome.
And an important handout.
Oh.
That you guys can draw on.
Awesome.
Yes. Sweet.
When the walls get completed, you can fill in those, and as you build
That's
new
cool.
buildings and stuff.
I'm gonna build so many weird installations.
Let the weird stuff roll.
Numenera gets weirder every week.
Yes.
God, what a sad keep.
Yeah.
We'll get it back.
You guys just wait. It'll be awesome.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Should be called Amber
That was a
pile of
fun
ruins
game.
right now.
Amber Keep. Super quick, catch us on Friday for Expedition Dracana episode
12.
12.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, our characters will be trying to figure out how many NPCs and carts and stuff were buried alive by an avalanche.
By the avalanche. Many
A
horses.
mythic avalanche.
Yeah, it
That's
was
right.
wild. Some ringfall avalanche happened.
And then some frost giants that were not ready to share that bounty.
yes.
I
And
love that the crazy, like, mythic shit was coursing through the avalanche. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was such a great image.
really epic. And yeah, loving that campaign. Frost Giants, we threw down with some Frost Giants. Also on Tuesday, after that, catch me on Unmade Gaming stream for Numenera campaign I've been partaking in, a Horizon Dawn Zero campaign off of the video game. So there's a lot of robot dinosaurs, and I'm playing a charming Arcus character who is pretending to be a shaman, and it's pretty comical. And yeah, until next week, until Friday, we're signing off. All the love, guys. Thanks for tuning in.